two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, episode 370. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt McClusky. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Sarge?
Another week, man. Another week. It's time warp. It's time warp. However, this week I've got a lot to say.
Oh, okay, good. I forgot to do the cheers. We got claps around, sound effects. Hit the sound effect board.
Got claps.
Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. We have lots of different stories to talk about. Since last week, Sarge, the actual official Friday the 13th went through. Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, so we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about the games that potentially could be coming, what Phil Spencer said about what Game Pass and where the games are and when are they going to come to Game Pass, and what he thinks should move forward now, because now they have somewhere between 32 and like 52 studios because of King Mobile and whatnot. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto 5M. Rockstar bought 5M just about a couple months ago, and they're reaching out to the mod community saying that, hey, if you made these cars in our servers, you have to take everything down. You can't have any intellectual property whatsoever, trademark, copyright, anything on our servers. So they're giving a warning shot to anybody out there that's using the servers that have their own stuff on there. They have to take it down. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about physical media. Walmart, last week we talked about Best Buy, right? Best Buy, there was a leak out there that's saying physical media of Blu-ray and DVDs were going to be removed from Best Buy. Shortly after this, Walmart came out, okay, and said that, rumor, they haven't come out officially yet, but in 2024, Walmart will be removing all physical Xbox games, claim says, okay? And it's interesting because it says Xbox games. And why is that? Because Xbox has got Game Pass and they have cloud gaming and whatnot. So not to say they're going to get rid of it, all the stuff with PlayStation, but it just says Xbox. And then Target also is going to get rid of physical media as well. Shortly after that, Netflix comes out and says that they're getting more games on the streaming service, and now they're going to take the streaming service cloud gaming and bring it from Netflix to people's television sets. So all that, we're going to talk about that. Battlefield 2042. Player count is almost higher than ever before. Okay, 2 years after the fact, it came out in 2021. Here we are 2 years later, and Battlefield is basically the best it's ever been of the time it's been out, but it took 2 years to get there. Okay, Minecraft surpassed 300 million copies. We're going to talk about that as well. We're going to talk about also Minecraft had Minecraft Live this past weekend. I'll tell you what's coming out for Minecraft in the upcoming year and a half. Rumor Nintendo planning to release versions of the Switch 2 without backwards compatibility. We're going to talk about Pete Hines retiring. We're going to talk about Starfield and how good it did in the month of September, the month that came out, and how it's doing so far throughout the year. And we're going to talk about Halo, reportedly being developed using the Unreal Engine 5, so we'll talk about that as well. And I think that is about it. Yeah. So all that and more on today's show. So if you like us, please make sure you hit that like button down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us. You can listen to us here or watch us after the fact here on YouTube at 30NSG. And if you don't want to watch us here and you want to watch us after the fact or listen to us after the fact, you can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, anywhere else where podcasts are out. And then you can also watch us over on Spotify as well. So, all right, let's get to what we've been playing. All right, Sarge. Another week, another stuff. I know you've been playing. We played a little bit of Halo Infinite last night. Okay, we could talk about that. What else have you been playing?
Well, you already know that Hell Let Loose is always in the rotation because I play with a community clan.
Didn't they just do another good update for the game?
Yes and no. They're still tweaking some stuff out. I'm waiting to see the official patch. I think it's only on the test servers and the PC. I don't think it's on console yet, so I'm still waiting.
Yeah, hold on. It says Hell Let Loose, PlayStation 5 and Xbox players have to reduce map rotation from patch 14.4, and this will be rotated for the next 7 days. So whatever that means. I don't know what that means.
I think it's just they're redoing some maps, I think. People found, and I don't agree with this, but I understand why they do it, because they think it gives disadvantage. It's not a disadvantage. It's called learning the map. So basically what people have found out is on certain of the city maps that there's some roofs and walls you can get up on, right? Like one time I was running around and I actually found like a garrison on a roof. I thought it was genius. Like they were able to find a way to get on a roof somewhere, and they put the garrison on the roof.
That's really good, because the only way you can get that off is you do an airstrike.
Bombing run.
Yeah.
Right. You got a bombing run, right? But the fact remains is you were able to figure that out, right? It's not breaking the game, right? No. I found a way to get on the roof. And, like that's not all roofs. I found a way to get on the roof.
There's no rules in war. Right?
There's no rules in war. Right. Exactly. Right. It wasn't like you put an aimbot on. But I get people complain and they have to fix the maps, and they think there's certain things that glitch out, so they want to move, like certain houses don't have a door in a certain spot anymore because once again you found a way to get behind a wall to put a garrison down that's in a more secure location, like you're supposed to do. It's called learning the map.
Right.
I don't know how else to explain it, right? For Dark Tide, 3 characters level 30.
Jesus.
You're
putting some time. So you're not playing Starfield that much anymore right now. You're playing Dark Tide.
I'm taking a break.
Yeah,
I'm taking a break. I think it's interesting the different level difficulties that they have, and they sprinkle in some oddball difficulties. Like some of the levels that you play, like on level 2 or 3, you might not get a lot of swarms, but there's like a ridiculous amount of dogs. Like it might be like 6 or 7 dogs come at you at the same time. So like you have to brace and like know how to take them out before they get you. Otherwise, if let's put it this way, if 7 dogs turn the corner and you're not ready and they get you, your whole team's out.
Okay.
Right? Because the dog's on top of you, and the only way the dog can get them on top of you, somebody has to get them off, right? So if a dog's on top of everybody, you're screwed.
Right.
Right? So I like the little sprinkles of difficulty they put in the game, and the higher level swarms are insane. You have to know how to clear the room. You have to know how to block, push them back, and then do the swing on specific weapons. You have to know how to do it. It can't just be your swinging. If you're just swinging, just the basic attacks of the corrupted chaos guys will wear down your toughness to the point where they eat into your health. All right. And what I also found out is for every level of difficulty you go up, you lose 1 health bar. So let's say I don't put any bonuses on, right? When you're playing the game normal, if you look down at the bottom of your character,
is it the purple that comes up? Is that the purple that comes up?
No,
or that's the white.
No, the white is your health.
Okay.
The white is your health. And when you play normal character, no bonuses, you've got 4 boxes, right? 4 boxes. So now I have curios that I put on. I went for all wounds on purpose just so I could survive until I learned the character better, right? So what I found out is every level that you go up in difficulty, it removes 1 health bar. So if you don't put a curio on with an extra wound, if you're playing level 4, you've got 1 box.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Right. Okay. So now, if you put the wounds on, you put the curio wounds on, like I have 8 boxes or 9 boxes, but I'm playing on level 1. But as I started going up in the harder difficulties, I realized, hey, why don't I have 5 boxes? Why do I only have 6 boxes? And I'm like, oh, it takes it away the higher you go up. I'm like, okay. So I don't know what it is for me. I'm not scared of the game, right? But when you're playing the game and you're looking for the grimoires, or you're looking for the scriptures, for the bonuses and stuff, so for the currency, so you can upgrade your gear.
Right.
That's the whole point of finding those things. Is when you're by yourself and you hear like the triggers go off, like I have like this sense of urgency, right? Like oh, I'm gonna die, like I can't be by myself. Like the best description I can give you, the feeling I have is when you're a little kid and you think your mom left you. Like,
oh right,
like
even reverse
like
roll.
that's
Yeah,
like
even reverse
that's
roll.
the emotion. That's the emotional thing. Yeah, when you're a little kid and you think your mom left you somewhere, that little sense of dread
Or if you're an
that you
adult
have.
and you think you lost your child for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing. So like when you're playing on the higher difficulties and you're by yourself at all, you're in trouble. You better hurry up and get back to those people. And then I want to talk about Halo Infinite.
Okay.
I know it's been 2 years, and I know we didn't play it because they didn't have co-op.
They didn't have co-op.
Right, but I think I know the reason why they didn't have co-op. Now that I played the game, I realize why there's no co-op.
Yeah, so
or there was no co-op.
Let me bring up some footage from last night, right? While we talk about this. Go ahead. You can talk.
So I don't dislike the game. I used to love Halo, right? I loved Halo. Right? What I find interesting is the fact that the game, even though they said they were on it to make a co-op, they were going to make a co-op, the game is not set up for co-op. Like they just threw co-op in there to stop the people screaming at them, but it's not really co-op. Like, and if you were going to do co-op in that game, it's not 4-player. It's 2-player, and that's it.
There's a lot of little weird things that happened last night.
There's weird things happening in that game.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
It makes it super easy. I don't even care if you put it up to like heroic difficulty, right? When you have 4 people, like we literally just bashed the crap out of a boss fight, right? There's jankiness going on, like you get teleported everywhere. Like if you're with 4 people and 3 of you are together and one's off to this thing,
no one's allowed to wander.
Like the one doesn't teleport to the 3. It's like the one all of a sudden is the guy, and then 3 teleport to them. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be in a vehicle, you could be killing somebody, you could be doing some other thing.
It's very
you
disruptive.
could be in the middle of reloading your weapon, and then you just get teleported across the map, right? It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's not meant for co-op.
No,
I
think it is. I just don't think it's meant for the mass co-op.
Yeah, but the way that they're trying to do it, if you were going to make it co-op, right? Like traditional co-op, 2-player, not 4. Okay. The person whose game it is in charge.
Right.
Is in charge.
That's what it should be.
He's in charge. He gets to press the buttons. He gets to skip the cutscenes. He gets to find the stuff. If you find it, you can tell him where it is, but you can't pick it up. Like that's, or at the very least, you can pick it up and it doesn't activate anything. You have to come over and activate it.
Right.
Like if you found like a collectible or something, that's no problem. But the fact that everybody can skip accidentally. You're skipping all the storylines. You're skipping because everyone's pressing buttons on their side because they're fighting and doing whatever else they're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's not programmed for co-op. You just made it to where multiple people are in the world and they all have the same abilities as the guy whose game it is. Right? For lack of a better word, it's unkempt. That's the nicest way I can say it. It's an unkempt co-op. Now, I appreciate it, right? But I have the old Sarge in me who's played Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 1, Halo Reach. Like, if I'm in your Halo game, I'm not Master Chief. You're Master Chief. And I can be any one of the hundreds of other Spartans
old ones, though, you were still
game.
Master Chief. I don't think you remember that, but you were Master Chief.
I understand.
Well.
I understand that. I'm talking about now. This is 20 years later.
Yeah, I get it. They could have easily made you a Spartan while the lead character is Master Chief.
I mean, there's only 15 years of red versus blue. How about I'm blue? How about I'm red? Then you're green?
Well, I think this is the problem. I think that this was supposed to be a live service game. Okay. And I think you were supposed to be a Spartan, but they changed it all up and said, all right, let's just take Master Chief, make the campaign. We'll do this. We'll just put co-op. We can't do co-op right at the start because we don't know what we're doing. That's why they tacked it on over a year and a half later, or a year later. I forget what it came out like 6 months ago, right? So
but
it does feel tacked on. It does feel tacked on.
But even the colors, I'm the same color as you. Like all I'm saying is all I'm trying to say the gunplay's there.
Yeah,
right. It's
the
fun.
Gunplay feels good.
Right. There's a lot of gun selection.
Yeah,
right.
I like the grapple hook. I did make fun of the grapple hook. Right, when we first saw it in the first trailer.
You need it. You need it for some momentum and stuff because I played by myself. Right, I played by myself.
How dare
and
you?
And I realize that if you're rusty or if you're not good at understanding how the guys attack and what guys to use, what gun to use on what guys, it's a little bit difficult. You need the grapple hook, especially in an open world, right? To flank, to move quickly, to go behind cover. Like, it helps when guys are charging at you and I grapple the thing to the right and I just launch that way and I dodge the guy, you know. Finding all the collectibles is cool. Exploring the map is cool.
I like the open worldness of it. I do. I think it's cool, but it does feel a little. I don't know. It feels
not
weird.
It's thrown together.
Yeah, it feels like an afterthought type of thing. They're like oh, what do we do with? You know, we were gonna make this like Destiny, but we're not anymore. But let's still keep the open world map and let's throw in stuff there to keep you busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's all kind of like busy work. Is what it is. Keep you. It's basically keeping you engaged. It's not a Halo game, and then afterwards, like if you were trying to make the Halo into something else, then you should have went the same route as like Grand Theft Auto did, which is Halo has a full campaign with a story, and then after you're done, there's the online version you now go to, and then you could play online forever.
Well, here's what I've noticed
in the open world.
We played for 4 hours last night, right? We played for 4 hours, so I don't know how long the campaign is. We're going to continue playing it, but the way it felt to me, and maybe it's because we were playing with 4 people, but when I played Marvel's Avengers, you could feel like that co-op aspect was tacked on afterwards. It didn't feel like it was baked into the game at the start. It seemed like they threw it in there to just satisfy that, oh yeah, it's co-op and you can play with your buds and do the thing. This is what this feels like. Now, maybe the campaign's fantastic, the story is fantastic, whatever. I don't know yet. 4 hours in. But running around the open world, just going piece to piece, one, there's no scaling with the amount of people that you have, no matter what difficulty you're on. So if we're on normal or we're on heroic, heroic's heroic if you're playing 1 player or 4 players. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't scale with you. There's no scaling on normal if you're playing by yourself or if you're Now, the only thing that scales is that you have 4 people. It's going to be on easy, super easy mode. Where if you're by yourself, you're going to have to run around tactfully, trying to hide behind trees, throw a grenade, reload. You know what I mean? You're going to have a boss fight that we had last night that took, I don't know, 3 seconds. Someone probably would have been there for 15 minutes by himself playing that boss fight.
I was there 15 minutes doing that. Yeah. That's what it was. I'm not completely disappointed. It's a Halo game.
Yeah.
Right? We all love Halo. But at the same time, it feels piecemeal. Right? It feels piecemeal. And I don't know why, especially if you're in a studio that knows what the game is. You've made 3 games prior to this. Like
4.
And you know what you're supposed to do with a Halo game. But you have somebody barking at you, telling you that we've got to make it a Destiny. And you're like, this is Halo, not Destiny. It's not the way it works, right? Make a game, sell the game,
right?
If
I want to play Call of Duty, I go play Call of Duty. If I want to play Battlefield, I play Battlefield.
Imagine it released the year it was supposed to release and didn't have the year of waiting.
Which was 2020. Was supposed to be 2020, yeah.
Imagine how much worse it would have been, right?
Well, I mean, you waited 2 years to get to this point.
Well, I waited 2 years because I wanted the Halo game that I always know. When you put the Halo game in, we could play co-op through the campaign, right? That's what it is. I understand it's different. I understand they're trying something new. Not a problem, but it's piecemeal.
Sure, and I want to make it clear. I don't think the game's trash in any way, shape, or form. I just don't think.
No, it's not.
I don't feel like it feels like Halo, and I also don't feel like it feels complete even 2 years after. I feel like people like multiplayer, cool, but there's still something feels off about the campaign, the 4 hours that we put in.
I mean, I want to go through it now. We're playing it. I want to go through it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to go through it with 4 people. I think I want to go through it 2-player like it was originally. And what I also noticed is, and this is the feeling I get when I play by myself, the sense of solitude you have, that you're the only guy there. I keep getting the Rambo feeling in my head, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the jungle. I'm on the planet. I got to rescue POWs, right? And then when I free the POWs, they pick up guns and they help me, right? At one point, I figured out how many guys you can have follow you. You can have 6 guys following you, right? So even if you get a truck, if you get the Warthog, that's only 2 guys.
Right.
right? And the rest have to run behind you, and they're never going to catch up. So a lot of times, I take this pile of guys with me, and I'm walking around to different locations and having gunfights, and it makes it feel like more immersive that the Marines are coming back from the dead. It's the chief and the Marines he's released, and we're fighting against the Covenant, and we're fighting against the Banished. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, I'm in it. Like, I understand what you guys are trying to do. Some guys have no uniform. He's in a white shirt. He's got a gun. He's trying to fight for his life. And some Covenant guy comes over and slices him in half with a power sword. And for just a moment, I feel a little sorry. I'm like, damn, he didn't make it. Johnson didn't make it. Like, you feel like a little excited. But at the same time, I'm going around to each of these POW camps. And I'm like, okay, so if I unleash more of these POW camps, do I get better weapons? Do they start driving around in jeeps by themselves?
No
my brain goes to the 2023 version of gaming, which is if I take over a certain part of the map and I've released all the POWs, but I'm not at that far. I'm not at that base anymore. I released the base. I found the guys, but I'm over here now. That later on, when I come walking past the area, that they're already in the Warthog doing like a little patrol by themselves. They drive around. Maybe they go like in the circle, and if they see anybody, they start shooting. I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. Like, we're taking the map back over. Let's have some AI stuff happen inside the game to make it feel more lived in. Yeah. I released them, got the base back. They're armed. Now they call in some stuff, right? And they start fighting by themselves, right? Now, granted, when you first go to these areas, there is combat going on. The Marines are holding out the last guy.
Yep, they're fighting.
And you release them, not a problem. But at the same time, if you can do that, then why can't you do after that? Like, why?
Right.
Why is it just the cool factor when I start it, but after I own it, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just a spot to go to get my gun reloaded.
Right. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's weird. It just doesn't feel flushed out, right?
It was added on. It's fine.
So much
I get
so. I know this is a pet peeve of mine last night. Hold on.
Didn't buy it.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Didn't buy it.
So last night.
How mad can I be?
Last night, as we were playing, right, I'm using this gun right here, which is I think it's called the Hydra. Okay. It holds 18 bullets total. Okay. So when I'm empty, I'm completely empty. It's 0. Right. And then when you go to the reload, you would think it would just reload the 6 in the chamber and then, 18 in the actual storage, right? But it doesn't do that. It takes the 18, fills up the 18, and then you have to manually load the 6, right? And then I'm missing 6 from the rest.
And then you reload again.
Right? So then I have to go back up to the reload and hit it again. And I'm like, why? Why? Something like this. I know it's so simple, okay? It's stupid. People are like, why are you nitpicking on this? Right?
Why does nobody check that?
Right.
Why does nobody check on you put a reload machine in the game. The thing, the machine reloads your weapons.
Just
right?
load the whole gun.
By the way, it's a bonus because I hated having a cool gun that I had and then realizing now that it's empty, I got to go find one.
Right. Now you can go find that.
Now I can find the ammo thing and just load it up.
Yes.
Right? Now the ammo things do empty out. Now what I don't know is, do they respawn later on because I haven't played the game long enough to know if they respawn?
So wait, the things actually run out of ammo?
Yes. Yes. The ammo machines run out. Yes.
The one energy weapon. I'm trying to get to that shot that we had. It was up in that tower. We were doing the boss fight. Let me see if we can get there, and you guys can see it. It irritates me because I'm like, okay, is this the boss fight? We're getting to the boss fight. Yeah. Here's the energy. I click the energy, it does the 18, right? Or the kinetic, 18, right? 18 and then it takes it, and then I have to put the 6, and then I have to reload again to get the +6 to get back to 18. I'm like, this is stupid, right? Stupid. And then the energy weapon I had did the exact same thing. But most energy weapons, if you have a shock weapon,
percentages. They're
just
percentages.
A percentage. So it goes up to 100 and then it's filled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But the ones with the bullets, I was just like, why is this a thing? I was like, why is this a thing?
Here's the thing that they brought over from the older Halo games, which I thought is hilarious, but I don't understand why, right? So when you start the game out, you have no grenades. As you progress through those first 2 missions, you get 1 grenade, then you get another grenade. Now, when I say you get 2 grenades, I don't mean you have just 2 grenades. I mean, I have the standard human grenade,
right,
and I have the plasma grenade.
You could switch to the other one. Yeah.
I could switch. I've played long enough now where I have 4 types of grenades. 2 of each. Now I have to switch to them when I want to, unless I just whatever it's on, who cares? And then once I throw the 2 grenades, it just switches to a random the next 2 grenades, regardless of what they are. Like otherwise, I've got to pick it. I got to pick the grenade. Right now, hang on a second. If I can hold 8 grenades,
Yeah.
then just let me hold 8 grenades.
That's my point.
Right? I just want to hold 8 plasma grenades.
Let me hold 8
and
grenades.
leave me alone. Why?
Nope.
Why?
Two each.
2 each.
2 each.
Like what is with the limitations? It's 2023.
Right.
I'm in an open world Halo game. I now have ammo reload stations. 2 grenades each.
Well, it's funny to me that certain things like this, right? It's a video game. And at certain points, you're like, okay, well, it's realistic. They're trying to make it feel like it's realistic. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, great. If my backpack holds 8 grenades, 8 total grenades, right? Why is it only 2? Like if you picture yourself unpacking the backpack, you're like, I'm going to put 2 frag grenades in.
Right.
And then you're like, no, you can't put a plasma there. That's only frag grenades holders there. You got to put 2 plasmas in, right? And then you're like, nope, that's an incendiary grenade now. Now it's like, it holds 8 grenades. Just let me hold 8 grenades and let me choose if I want 6-2, 4-4.
Right.
2.
I just pick up 8 grenades.
Yeah,
I just pick up 8 grenades.
Let me do what I
just
hate
pick up 8 grenades.
That with the bullets, that with the grenades. Like certain things are just like, I don't understand.
But you spend all this time on this game. The basics of the game are there. This is part of the basics of the game, not the open world part, not the crazy story part, not all these intricacies. The basics of the gunplay, the basics of my UI, the basics. And there's discrepancies. No one sat in a room and just said, "Hey man, why can I only have 2?" No one asked the question, "Why do I only hold 2 grenades?"
Just cause.
Just because.
Yep.
Right? Why does this gun reload different than this gun when I hit the reload machine? No questions.
Why can't I dual wheel?
Why'd you take out dual wheel? Right?
Yeah.
This animation,
I got a grapple hook now.
343's tired, man.
I bet you that's what it is.
Can't do this.
I bet you that's what it is, right? I can't do this because I have a grappling hook on one hand. And if I hold 2 guns, I can't grapple hook.
Fire the grapple hook.
I can't grapple hook. Right? I guarantee you that's the reason you can't dual wield a weapon.
Right, because if I have a gun in my hand, I can't fire the grapple on my wrist.
Yeah, can't do it.
Nice try. I can't listen to that. I can't. Right?
Chat, I know it seems like we're bickering or like nitpicking on stuff, but this is the ranting part of the show.
It's only been 25 years. It's been 25 years,
This is the ranting part of the show, right?
So what you're telling me is you went for new.
Yep.
And I have a grapple hook. So it means more mobility. Awesome.
I
got some more mobility.
You can link.
Not to mention that he runs now.
Yeah.
He didn't run before. Yeah. I understand that running's been in past Halo games, but that was an added feature. It used to just be 1 speed, right? I'm running. That's it. But if I have a gun, what's the big deal? I fire the grapple. Right?
With the gun in your hand, you can just grapple and then pull.
Here's the part. I'll compromise. Right? If I'm dual wielding and I use my grapple hook, don't put the gun animation in my hand. Right? Like if I'm dual wielding and I fire the grapple hook, just make the gun disappear. I'm grapple, and then when the grapple goes away, the gun's back in my hand. Completely cool. All right? We don't have to nitpick all the way, but you can't do shit like this. Like it's almost Madden-esque to tell me that I could dual wheel
and then you took it out
in every game, and then you take it out because I got a grapple hook now.
Right. I mean, I don't know if it's the reason for the grapple hook. I'm just assuming that's what it is, right? It does feel Madden-esque, right? Esque. Cone of vision, take it out. Defense where you can swat people away, but then take it out, and then bring it back 5 years later and go, we got cone of vision, and they're like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever.
But you understand the reasons why that kind of manipulation works, right? And this is the God's honest truth, right? Originally, and I've spoken about this in the past, originally, you're a kid, you game, you go to college, you're still gaming, then you get a job or a girlfriend, and there's no more gaming. That was it, right? So that span of 5 years or 6 years that you're playing heavily into video games and you're doing your thing and you're all by yourself and playing games.
Now you're just happy to play games.
Right. But now, since we're playing games longer and there are hundreds of wives who are mad that their husbands are still playing video games, but at least they're home, so leave them alone, right? At least they're with you, right? And not at the bar, right? But because people are playing video games longer, we noticed that the cycle comes back, whereas beforehand you would have never known that. Kona Vision might have been something amazing. It might have been like finding the lost Ark of the Covenant.
But
oh my God, Kona Vision.
Yeah,
but Kona Vision's happened already.
But it should also still be in there continuously.
But they take it out and put it back in because that group of people is supposed to be missing. They miss it. But there are people we're still playing.
Sure.
We're still playing.
I guess
people are still playing. That's why.
I guess then here's the thing. Here's what I don't understand. Can I dual wield if I don't activate the grapple? Because you could take the grapple hook off. You could put a shield down. You could put the boosters on to drift or whatever. You know, like
okay,
shimmy.
but let's.
So if I take the grappling hook off, can I dual wield that?
But let's not do this because now we're going to get into another can of worms, right? The grapple hook is on me. It's on me.
Right. Not if you switch.
What is putting down the hollow shield got to do with removing my grapple hook?
You can only put the thing on your wrist that makes
I'm
the
only allowed
shield.
to have I'm only allowed to have one ability at a time.
Hook. Right.
One ability at a time. We can't push the limits of the engine. Stuff's gonna get crazy. Meanwhile, not to mention, I don't want to mention any other first-person shooter where you're doing multiple things with your hands. But let's move on. Next.
Well, I've been playing a little bit of Battlefront. Sorry, not Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefield 2042. I went back to the new season. It's in a good spot right now. It is. It's a fun game right now. It feels good. The hitboxes every once in a while I still feel like me and Akuta Papa were playing. It still feels that sometimes you get the shots off, and it feels like every third shot or something doesn't land. Or something, you know what I mean?
For which shot? For which is the gun?
Battlefield, yeah, for guns.
For
right?
specific guns?
I don't know if it's specific guns or just in general. Like I'll be taking shots, and I know for a fact I'm hitting the guy, right? But it feels like 2 of the 3 shots land, even though they're all dead center on the thing, right? And I don't know if that's Bloom. I don't know if that's internet connection. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if that's what it is. But when the game first came out, and I said this, I was like, there's something off with the hitbox. Everyone's like, no, it's fine. And then it came out, oh, yeah, it's completely wrong, right? Because someone made a long video of it. The guy's just shooting somebody and nothing's registering. So there's stuff like that that's happening, right? But I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun. It's starting to feel good. And here's when I was playing it the other day, Sarge, I was like, man, I wish Sarge would give this a go now, right? I wish you would give it a go because I would have more fun playing with you, just like you want me to play Dark Tide with you because you don't want to play with randos, right? You want to play with people that you know.
Who wants to play that game with randos?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. In Battlefield 2042, I wish you would play it with me because I don't want to go around anymore with just randos. So I really like when Akuta Papa jumps in and plays with me because then I have that person I can bounce with and play. Like we communicate really well. He's like he'll be a guy to the left, up on top. We're communicating with each other, and it makes me for a moment. It brings me back to that moment when we used to play like Bad Company 1 and Bad Company 2 with that big squad that we used to be with. I hate that Battlefield went through what it did. Okay, and now it's finally getting to where it should have been where it's launched, and now so much so. Let me bring up. We're still doing what we've been playing, but this is an article for this. Battlefield right now is It says Battlefield 2042 player count is almost higher than ever before. Okay, so it's hitting the numbers. Okay, it says for many millions of players neck deep in first-person shooters this weekend, Modern Warfare 3 beta, but for almost 100,000 players on PC in order of the day, Battlefield 2042 in the last few days was vast swaths of players have been flooding Battlefield 2042. It was on sale, I believe, for like $10 in Steam, so a lot of people were picking it up as well. So they had more people playing the game now than they did at launch, which is sad, to be honest with you, because it should have been like this at launch, but you have to wait 18, 24 months for the game to get fixed and finished.
But that's the same story over and over again. I am never excited about a game's launch because I already know between your crunch complaining, your whatever firing, your CEO left, your CEO stole, your CEO was with a 15-year-old, whatever list of criteria they have to do that had a problem with their development cycle. Right? It's not ready. Right? So if I wait 5 years for a game I love, and I know the state of the industry, I know when the game comes out that I got to wait an additional 2 years for the game to be done.
Right.
So I might as well just wait 7 years and not talk about it because you still want my money day one for a product that's not done until 2 years from now.
But this is
right?
This is why right now Battlefield 2042 is #1 on PlayStation Plus, because they didn't pay full price for that game, right?
Yeah.
This is why it's being played very well on Game Pass, because people didn't have to buy that game, right? This is why it's on sale on Steam for like $10, and people are starting to pick it up. They're like, $10? That's a good. It is right now.
$10.
Right now, I'm having fun with Battlefield 2042 just as much as I did with Battlefront 2 after the calamity went on with Battlefront 2, right? Like, Battlefront 2 is a really good game, okay? But it got shit canned because people are like, microtransactions, loot boxes, all that stuff. Everyone's like, I'm done. Even though it sold like 12 to 15 million copies, right? Everyone's like, I'm done. But that's a good game, right? Battlefront 2042 now is a good game, but it's too little too late, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are just... they're moving on.
It's not too little. It's not too little, too late. See, the issue that people have when we have these discussions is you actually believe that they cared about it, that they're fixing it, right? That's what you think, right? They sold what they wanted to sell. Yeah. The difference is because of the specialists and the microtransactions within the battle pass, right? Within the game, that they want to have those sales for their number to be what their number is.
Right.
And they didn't get that number. So they're completely willing to move the team over to make the next game and take the last 15 guys, and they have the skeleton crew fix the game and maintain the game so we can harvest the money from those things that we need to make that number that we said we were going to make. Yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is making the next game. They didn't care.
Yeah.
It's not because they were trying to fix the game. It's because they're trying to get they're trying to get people in the game. Listen, they got a bunch of nerds in a room saying, how long does the guy have to be playing the game before he spends $1? And they go, according to our slide rule, the average person has to play 36.5 minutes to spend $1. Well, we have to figure out a way to keep them in there for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right.
So you guys you take your 15 guys, you go in there and figure that out. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is on to the next game. This is a machine we're doing here. We're not making video games here. We're making cow milking. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. I did notice when I was playing, and I asked Akutapapa if he noticed it too. I feel like the leveling, like the XP, is lower in this. Now, here's the funny part. Every time I played Battlefield 2042 up to this point since last November, every time I got on, it was like double XP. Double XP. Always. Now it's at the highest of capacity that's been since launch, and for some reason now the leveling feels really slow, right?
Yeah, because they took double XP away. Because now everybody's playing.
Yeah, because now they have the people in there.
Now they brought the sheep in.
Right.
They brought the sheep in. They fenced them off, and now we have to let them eat the grass a little bit.
If everybody can listen to this, if you could stop playing 2042 and go back to other games, please, I would like to have double XP back.
Oh, I want my double XP back. Yeah. So look, listen. If they really cared that much, right? If they really cared that much, Frank, if they really were interested in my gaming's best interest, right? They would go to my phone company, find out my cell phone number, because they already know I'm playing the games. I have my phone number on one of their agreements somewhere, right? And then as soon as they have double XP, I get a notification on my phone. Hey, by the way, Sarge, double XP. Why don't you come on in?
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Oh, right. But no, that would be too much of invasion of privacy.
Creature brought up Battlefield 2042 is finally ready for launch. Is Season 5? It's actually Season 6. Halo finally ready to launch in Season 5. Yeah, right. And let's just add this to it. Diablo 4 will be ready to launch in Season 4 or 5. Okay? All of these games that come out like this, they're not ready until 18 to 24 months later, right? That's just what it is.
But they need something on the books, bro.
Yeah.
Right? So explain to me why we don't have a protection for that. You want full price for a game that's not completely done, right? You want full price for a game that's not completely done. The industry as it stands right now is in a position where I'm allowed to release a product, and I call it a product now, not a video game.
Yeah.
I'm releasing a product, and I want your full money value for it, and I'll let you know when we're finally done with it. That's not an arm's length transaction.
Right.
I did not get what I wanted. Right? I didn't get what you promised. You promised me this. You told me this, but it's not in there yet. But it's coming. We promise.
Yeah.
Believe me, bro. It doesn't fly with me. It just doesn't.
I have a problem with the industry as a whole, where people complain about Like I'm complaining now about the live service games that are incomplete, and then people are okay with single players. They're like, oh, they'll fix it on day one patch. They'll fix it on the month one patch.
That's not
All
a
games,
legitimate reason.
All games, I keep saying this: alpha, beta, preview, early access, doesn't matter. They all come out. They're all incomplete. They're all missing something. They're all doing that. I want to continue real fast on what I've been playing. Right, I got a headset. I got a VR headset. Right, so I started playing a couple of games, and I want to tell a couple of stories here. I was playing Fruit Ninja, okay, and it's really cool. I have the MetaQuest 2. Okay, I had a person. I don't know if they want me to name them. If they do, let me know. But I had someone in our community gift me a MetaQuest 2. Okay, so I've been playing for the last 2 days, just messing around with it and whatnot, and very appreciative. Very, very generous to give me a MetaQuest 2. So I started playing the MetaQuest 2. Okay, and I started playing Fruit Ninja. You have to map out your whole room and whatnot so you don't run into walls and shit. Okay. And I was playing last night, and I had the 2 swords in my hand, Sarge. And I can't... I always say VR is like a vacuum salesman. If you're a vacuum salesman walking door to door, you're trying to sell a vacuum without someone using the vacuum, right? They have to use the vacuum to go, oh, this is a good vacuum, right? Selling a VR headset to somebody, going, oh, man, it's a lot of fun. Even if I showed you a clip, you wouldn't understand what it is unless you put the headset on to truly understand what's happening, right? So I'm in this world of Fruit Ninja, okay? I got 2 samurai swords in my hand, and there's fruit popping up left and right, and I'm like chopping it, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. You feel like you feel like a fucking ninja, right? There's this one piece of fruit that was just a little too far out, right? And now I'm sitting down. I'm not standing. I'm in this chair, and I moved my chair back over in this part of the room, and I fenced it off so I wouldn't hit anything, right? But I reached out a little too far, okay, because I couldn't hit the fruit. And I reached out, and I punched, right? I punched a glass, okay? Thank God the glass was empty, because then that glass hit another empty glass, and I thought water went everywhere on my computer. And I was like, oh my! I ripped the headset off. I look, and I'm like, I turned around. I was like, I thought I was facing this direction, but then I was facing this direction because I was lost inside the world. Because I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, right? Like, so that's my first experience, right? A lot of fun. Then I played this. Then I played this rock climbing game. It's just a free trial. I don't even know what the name of it is. Okay. So all you see is your hands, and you have like powder. You shake your hands, and like chalk comes on your hands, and you grab onto the wall, and you have like these stamina wristbands on. So you can see you get tired. And I'm climbing up this wall, and I'm doing the rock climbing, and I have to like jump these large gaps and stuff. My brain is so into this, and I feel like I'm actually climbing the thing, right? And I made sure I'm still in the chair. Okay. So my body knows I'm sitting. Okay, I'm climbing the wall, and all of a sudden there's this one shot, and I have to shove myself up and then grab onto the next one. Okay, I miss it, and all of a sudden I start falling, and I'm reaching. I'm trying to grab for the wall to reach as I'm falling. My brain was like, "You're falling!" And I was like, I had to take the headset off. I had to take the headset off because my brain thought I was literally falling, and I started getting that nauseous feeling in my stomach that I was dropping. Right? I was like, this is amazing. I was like, I'm sold. I'm sold on VR. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be such a epic moment in culture where someone breaks their arm or leg at home playing a video game and then can't go to work.
Right.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Well, there's a couple of games, man, that it's pretty cool. Once I figure out and download some stuff, I'm gonna probably play that Star Wars game on stream. So I'll be in the VR headset, and we'll play the Star Wars game. I don't know when I'm going to do that yet, but we'll do that later. Yeah, POV Mike's brain. Yeah, just freaking out, man. So it was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun. Very accurate. Like when you shoot a gun or something, it feels good. Play Beat Saber. I haven't downloaded anything yet like that. I just tried free trials because I didn't know what to play or what not. But pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I look forward to talking more about the VR. All right, let's go to top stories. All right. The first story I want to talk about, last Friday, Sarge. I mean, we have our shows on Thursdays. Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, you can become a member. It's $5. But Thursdays, we do Thursday on purpose. We did Thursdays originally because the TWAB, we used to be a Destiny podcast when we first started. We used to always really talk about Destiny. TWAB used to come out on Thursdays, and then we would talk about it on the show and whatnot. But Thursday's a good spot because a lot of news comes out, but we always miss the tail end on Friday. And when Friday comes, then we're like late to the party because now we're a week late, right? So,
yeah, but no, I like being late to the party a little bit because it lets all the stuff settle.
Yeah, I got
it lets all the dust settle in case it's misinformation or some bullshit rumor. Let it all pass first, and then we talk about it like sensible people.
Right. So, Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal. Okay, it's official. It's official. Microsoft now owns Activision Blizzard. They put a nice trailer out. The trailer is actually pretty touching, right? They made a nice little trailer, all CGI with I'm home now, it's type of stuff like that. So Activision Blizzard acquisition is now clear to close after the UK regulator has given a final stamps of approval. Okay, so Microsoft's $68.7 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard has been approved by the UK regulators, the UK Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, and concealed that the deal can proceed after Microsoft recently restructured the deal to transfer cloud gaming rights to the current and new Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft, right? So Ubisoft Plus also has that. I did a video of that. If you guys are going to go watch that, you can go watch the morning show that we did. So the CMA has decided to give Microsoft Corporation, Microsoft consent to acquire Activision Blizzard and Activision and the parties excluding Activision's cloud streaming rights outside of the European Economic Area. And the merge subject to condition that the sale of Activision cloud streaming rights completes prior to the completion of the merge. Okay, so here's what this means, Sarge, right? We have tons and tons of games that are coming into so where's that list? I had a list of what it is. Is this the list? No, this is not the list. Hold on. I gotta find the list. There's a list of games I had and now I can't find it. Did I close it? Oh, come on. Okay, here's the list. Right. So this is everything that Activision Blizzard game franchise Xbox now owns. Okay, I'm gonna go through a list pretty fast. Right? Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, Gabriel Knight, Geometry Wars, Guitar Hero, Gun, Hearthstone, Heroes of Storm, Heavy Gear, Herrick, Interstate 76, King's Quest, Lost Vikings, Overwatch, Pitfall, Police Quest, Prototype, Quest of Glory, Ski Resort Tycoon, Skylanders, Soldier of Fortune, Space Quest, Spyro, StarCraft, SWAT, Tony Hawk, True Crime, Ultimate Soccer, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, and Zork. Okay. Now, Activision Blizzard purchased King in February as well. Okay. So they now have Bubble Saga, Bubble Witch Saga, Hoop de Loop, Candy Crush, Pyramid Solitude, Pet Rescue, Paper Pier. There's a shit ton of stuff here, right? There's like a list of 25 games for mobile that they picked up, and this is why they picked up King and Activision, right? For mobile and cloud, not because of Call of Duty, because of mobile and cloud. Out of these, some of these names that I named off for Activision, Sarge, now that Microsoft has Activision Blizzard, what game would you like to see that Activision held in the past that now can come? This is not even everything, right? Because they still have like Transformers games, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance games. There's a bunch of games they didn't even mention here because of licensing stuff, right? With Marvel and Hasbro and whatnot.
Well, let's back up the truck a little bit. First, I want to thank all the hundreds of guys who made videos that no one remembers, the goldfish brains of America, who made hundreds and hundreds and thousands of videos about how this deal was never going to go through. It's never going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. My bank account just went cha-ching because I've been studying shit for 5 years. Okay. I knew the deal was going through.
Yeah. We said,
thank you.
Yeah. We said
we're done.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much. Right. Thank you for all the videos. And by the way, you should watch the videos now. I actually sent you one.
Yeah,
that's a compilation.
I was laughing.
It was a compilation of a bunch of them all together talking shit about how the deals ever go. Like they're on Bloomberg. Like they're like these guys who play video games like on Bloomberg. Like they know the deal's not going to go through because ABK can't do it. Like it's so humorous to me. It really is. Now back to the question. My problem is still the same. My problem is that making video games is not the same anymore.
No.
We are talking about a multi-billion, almost probably going to be trillion-dollar industry very soon, okay, with the number of studios in the works. My issue is when a company holds that many studios, if they're still going by their agenda, which is to pump out as much cow milking games as possible in order to make back the money that they spent to get them, right? Then you're still killing the creativity of the product, right? The issue has always been the same. People who made video games were not making video games to buy the guinea.
Right.
Okay. People were making video games because they loved video games. They grew up when I grew up and they loved video games. So they wanted to make them. And those people grew up to be the people that made probably the golden age of gaming that some of you probably still remember, right? That's the whole point of them being developers, because they loved video games. Once again, big business encroached into our industry that no one gave a shit about. And you guys can watch all the history videos you want, because I'm not making this shit up, right? As soon as big business realized that there was a dollar to be made in this industry, they started picking what they wanted to do and how they had their ideas on how they could make more money. And so they started putting their 2 cents in and started wearing down the creativity of the people who started this industry. So now we ended up with, as you so eloquently put it, the box of Kleenex, because you still have people who love to make video games, but they have no concept of what it is to come out of school and go into gaming like it was back then, as opposed to now, where before you came out bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right, with all this vision and had an idea to get together with a couple of your friends and go into a garage and make up a game. Great idea. Not anymore. You go into the Kleenex box, the corporations pick up the Kleenex box and they go, we need to make a game and I want 15 people to make this game or 300 people to make this game. They just keep pulling out Kleenex and they don't care if you want to make that game or not. And now you don't have the choice because you need money. I have kids to raise. I have a wife now. I have a mortgage. So instead of being bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I now have to sell myself out, lower my standards, and compromise to do stuff I don't want to do anymore, even though I love this field.
Right.
And so we've had 15, 20 years of that. And so this is where we ended up. So you tell me how do we go back to where the developers are in a room together and they say, hey, what do you want to make?
Well,
when does that happen again?
Well, Phil Spencer had an interview, right? And I actually had a video the same day as him. He did an interview with Xbox podcast. That morning, I did a thing, and we were talking about the new Halo game engine, right? Because Halo, they said that they want to make Halo into an Unreal Engine 5, okay? And I said in a video, you guys can go watch. Please do. Hit that like button down below. It helps us out. I said that 343 is the problem, not Slip Splays, right? I think 343 is not passionate enough to like Halo. They kind of were put together because they lost Bungie. They're like, let's scrap it together. Halo's a huge franchise back then when Bungie left, and they said we need to keep this going. They put together a studio to work on Halo, but that studio has never really understood Halo, right? Now I said, because Microsoft's acquisition went through and they have so many studios, I said what Microsoft should do, because they have the power to do this, that they should go around saying, all right, what do you guys want to make? What do you want to make, 343? What do you want to make? Because there's so many studios they can do that. They can afford to let those certain studios go, you know what? I would love to make a remake of Pitfall. Whatever, okay? And then they go work on that game. There are people that are passionate about that. So Phil Spencer in an interview said that he wants to go and make passionate. Like he's going to go meet with people this week and next week from Activision, all these different studios that make them, and say, what would you like to make? Let's sit down. Tell me what you guys are interested in, because he says if people are passionate about what they do, they'll make better games. This is proof, right? If you're not passionate about something, you don't want to fucking go to work. But if you are passionate about something, you'll get up every single day and do it because you're passionate about what you like to, and if your work is what your passion is, bonus. You know what I mean?
And that's why we got the games that we did for
Correct.
as long as we did.
This is why you get games like Tunic. This is why you get games like the independent games of Tunic and Cuphead and Hades and all these other games, because these people that love to make games made the games they wanted to make. Right? They were inspired by something they played and said, I can make a game like that. I love Zelda. Let me make Tunic. Right? Notch didn't want to work for the big corporation. Then he made Minecraft, and then Minecraft blew up to what Minecraft is, and now Minecraft's a big corporation because that's what it is, right?
Right, but he got paid and he left and he's done.
But he had his passion of what he wanted to do, right? And hence why Minecraft is successful.
Yeah, but he spent a lot of years building that
by
from
himself.
Scratch.
Yeah,
by himself. And so he deserved every penny when he finally, and I don't want to say sold out, when he finally said it's time to cash in on my growing of this whole entire IP, and they paid him, and he bought his gold mansion on some star island someplace. Congratulations.
Right.
Good for him. Right? But he's out. As in, like, I did what I wanted to do. I got paid all the money I needed my entire life from it, and now I'm out. Right? Not upset by that at all. You're out.
Reese, the difference between 343 wanted Halo. No, 343 was made to make Halo. Okay? The upper management wanted Halo because that was this, right? And then the people that are working, I work on projects all the time when I was in the movie industry, that there's jobs that I have no passion about. I'm just collecting the check, man. If it's a music video, if it's a feature film, if it's an episodic television show, there's shows that if nothing's going on, I'll take a job just to make the money. Okay, if there's something that I'm going to apply to that job and try to get on that shoot because I would love to be on that thing. And sometimes you land those gigs and sometimes you don't, right? In the video game space, once you land a gig, you're there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Okay, so a lot of people, as Krebsy put, not passionate. Redfall, Arcane Studios was not passionate about what they were creating. When Microsoft came in, they weren't like, oh, saviors. They're going to tell us not to stop. Microsoft's like, no, we paid money. You're working on that game. Go ahead and finish out. They don't know if it was bad or good, but we knew after the fact that the developers were like, they didn't want to make it. They didn't want to make the game. Okay, they weren't passionate about that. So not every studio is like this, right? Not every studio has the luxury of going, hey, what game do you want to work on? What game do you guys want to do? Because most studios don't have 30 other companies working on other games to put on under the big umbrella that Microsoft has now.
But why is that but why is this discussion happening now? Like, every game company that ever existed started from nothing, right? Everybody wants to make the big game or go home. Like, you start with a small game, you get a following, people buy your game, and you use that money to make the next game better, maybe a little bit bigger, and then you move on from there. That's how all studios worked, right? Before the publishers started gobbling them up like they were candy, okay? Everybody busted their ass to find an IP or something for them to lock in on and passionately make a game and try to get a group of people to actually follow them and buy the fucking game. That's how everybody worked. Now, you have a studio. Oh, I have a studio for 400 people. I've got to make this. It's got to make this. It's got, like,
right.
Who makes these kind of demands?
They got to hit the bullet points as they go.
You have no idea if that game's going to go well or not. You have no idea. I don't care if it's the best game in the world. You still have no idea when you release that game if that game's going to go over well or not.
Work or not. Right.
You don't know.
But
right?
they do
But
know
now we've gone through so many IPs now that if you guys can't see it by now, I can't help you anymore. Look at the titles that keep repeating over and over again, and look at the titles that they are afraid to make anything else.
Yeah.
They don't make anything. They just carbon copy what they did, or they do a remake, right? What did I say? What did I say when this whole mess started before COVID?
You said remake. Yeah.
I said it's gonna be the year of the year of the remake masters. Everything's gonna be remastered and remade. Well, where are we?
Well, yeah, because
that's all it is.
Yeah, because it's easier for them to make that than to go with a new IP.
No, it's not easier. It's because according to my ledger, this IP makes this much money average,
right?
And so that's what we need on the books. That's what we need on the books. It's all about the books, right? It's not about a bunch of guys who love gaming who want to make a game. We're past that now. Everyone's been bought up. It's all gobbled up, right? You're either in this boat or you're in this boat. That's it. And then either you have guys telling you, this is the game you have to make. Sorry. Welcome to your life. Or You have so many studios now. You're maybe I'll agree with you just this much. That you think that because you have this many studios now that they're going to be able to like relax a little bit and decide what they want to make on their own. Like the employees are going to take over and it's going to be kumbaya. That you think that like a bunch of guys are going to get together and decide, hey, you know what? I thought about this ninja game, but the guy only has one leg and then he has to get a robotic leg. And then we'll go from there. Like nobody's thinking that way. It's 8 IPs, 27 remakes. This is what we're doing, right? If I can't make that $1 billion game, I don't want you to talk about it. Like these are the suits come walking in. What's your next $1 billion game? Like what we were thinking. Don't think. This is the list. This is what we're doing. These are the remakes. Get to work. See you next month.
Right.
Like this is what we're talking about. That's not what gaming's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be challenging. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be a gamble. You're supposed to be on pins and needles the last 6 months you're making a game, because for the last 3 years of your life, you don't know if you're gonna go over well or if you're gonna put a gun to your head. I mean, like you don't know. You don't know.
There's no difference what I'm doing right now, right? I'm making a podcast. This is my channel, right? I don't have people just coming to me and I have to try to build this business up. If I had a brick and mortar store and I'm baking cookies or I'm selling cars, I didn't expect it to make it. I have to work to make it, right? Not just guaranteed. Oh, I open the store, it's gonna be flawless. But I'm gonna make. No, you have to work. You have to work your ass off to get the customer base, and then go. We make good products. You make the thing. We buy the thing. That's how it is. This is why we say make a game, sell a game. Okay.
Yes.
But a lot of these things now that Microsoft does have all these studios,
too many.
Not saying that all of them are going to come out and be bangers. Okay.
Nope.
But they have that no other studio, because in 2017 they had 5 or 7 studios total. Okay. So 343 was handed Halo because nobody else could take it, right? Because they didn't have all those studios. Here we are 5 years later. They have 32 major studios, 52 with all the King Mobile studios and whatnot. Okay. So now they have almost 4 times the amount of studios that they could choose and pick from, right? They could bring, for Halo, if 343 needs help, they can go over to one of the studios that made Call of Duty and say, hey, you guys know how to make a first-person shooter game. You guys know how to make gunplay feel well. You think you could go over here and help 343 out with this? Id Software, can you come over here and help these guys out? Hey, can you come over here and help the... Hey, Todd, that works for this company. Can you come over here and help them and give them your knowledge? Microsoft already does this.
Let's hope. Let's hope that's what it is.
Well, Microsoft already does this inside their software engineers, right? If you work for a certain part of software, you can put it in for a transfer and work in a different department because you're underneath this big umbrella. So hopefully, now that Microsoft owns all of these places, even though Activision's going to act separately and Bethesda acts separately, but they're still underneath Microsoft. Microsoft signs their checks now, okay? So hopefully they can reach out to people that are working with certain companies and go, what are you passionate about? What do you like to do, right? So my question now, Sarge, for all these games, right? Like Police Quest, Pitfall, King's Quest, Transformers, Ultimate Alliance. Is there something that Activision made in the past that you would like to see them come out with? Not just as a reboot or a remaster. Like, don't take Pitfall and just update the graphics. Like, maybe change Pitfall into maybe something different. Maybe like an Uncharted or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you like to see with the IP?
If you made Pitfall in today's gaming, it would be a male version of Tomb Raider. That's all it would be.
Sure.
That's all it would be. So they wouldn't do it. It's all it would be.
It's just an example. Like, what would you like to see?
I know. No, I know. The problem I have is I don't want Activision to make a game that they did in the past. I want Activision to sit in a room and decide what the next great thing should be, or we should try to make, or something that we should try. That's what I'd want. I don't want to see a remake of anything. I don't want to see a remaster of anything. I don't want to see a redo of anything. I want to see a company that now has no problem with money, right? You have no problems, right? Stop trying to make the same shit over and over again and just put your talented guys in a room, right? Have them smoke some weed and think up some shit finally, right? We didn't get all the good movies in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s,
right? Because people were
because of sobriety. Yeah. Okay, let's put it that way. All right, all the ideas came from opening your mind, sitting with your friends, and discussing some shit and see what we can get done. Can we get money for that? Can we get money for that? You think we can get some guys to get there to get some money for that? How about this idea, right? Write your screenplay, go to a room, elevator pitch me what we want to do. That's what they did. They did the same thing with gaming. I got this idea for a game. Well, what kind of game is it, right? They talked to their friends. They had some money. Let's put a couple $100,000 together. Let's make a game. Yep. 6 guys make a game, ends up being a great IP, and carries on for 10, 15 years. Did you know that was going to happen? No. Nobody does, right? So I want to see Activision be creative with a capital fucking K, okay? Creative. I want to see them do something different. I want to see them take a chance, right? If you want to make a game that makes money, so just to put on your books, then make a smaller game, right? Fighter, shoot 'em up, whatever, puzzle game, make it for a bunch of kids. That's where you'll get the whole families involved behind it. Make one of those type of games, release that first, then go make your other game. But you can't have it where I have 600 people and boom, it has to be big or nothing, big or go home, right? It doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to make a AAA title to make the millions and billions of dollars, right? You can make a game and sell a game, right? When we were growing up, 1 million copies was amazing. Now we're in the 6 million copies is amazing.
Yeah.
Now you want 25 million copies. You want everything has to be Call of Duty. Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't work that way. You don't have the pull for that genre of game for that many people to want to buy that game. Unless it fits in the niche that everyone wants to try. Then sure. But they all do the same thing. They milk the cow until they don't feed the cow anymore, and the cow just dies. Look at Sims. Look at SimCity. Look what EA has done to every IP they've touched, right? And you want to know why they desperately cling on to Madden and FIFA. Why do you think that's all they got? Look at what they did to the rest of their titles for the last 15 years. You think they cared? You think I want Activision Blizzard to do that? No. I want Activision Blizzard. First of all, I want Blizzard to go off in a room somewhere away from everybody and let them think up something else, right? Because the pressure that's been put on them to make a sequel to a game that had no sequel, and they called it a sequel, and all this nonsense that's been happening between Overwatch and Overwatch 2 and what's happening with World of Warcraft is just nonsense at this point, right? Make the fucking game.
Well,
make a game that you guys want to make.
Krebsy says that they can't make anything, right? Where did he say? He says, I don't know about Activision. No, that's not what you said. Where did you say, Krebsy? No, that's not passion. So Activision did this before being bought. I hope everyone in Activision Blizzard followed the 18-month work. That's not what he said. Where is it? I will say again, Activision Blizzard can't release anything good these days. Now, that might be true, right? But what's good? Because if it's subpar, it's Diablo just sold 10 million copies, right? Overwatch sells skins left and right. Call of Duty is one of the most best-selling games every single year it comes out, right? So to say...
But that's a dream game.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is they don't have to make anything great because the subpar stuff that they're making is making them boatloads of money.
Let's be clear. Diablo 4 released with a giant marketing team behind it. They sold all the games they needed to sell.
10 million games.
Right? Doesn't matter.
More than 10 million.
It doesn't matter what anyone says about hating it, don't like the seasons, think it's trash.
Right.
It doesn't matter. They sold all the games they wanted to sell. The only thing that they're upset about is they didn't hold on to those people to milk them with the microtransactions. That's the difference. But if I'm in the business of selling video games, I sold a shit ton of video games, right? Blizzard sold a shit ton of video games of Diablo 4. No problem, right? We're done talking about the fact that it was good, bad, or indifferent. They sold their number, right? And that game will continue to sell, trickle down over time over the next couple of years because, lo and behold, they're off making a different game. And now the 15 Skeleton Crew guys are sitting back now deciding on how I can capture these people to stay longer in our game.
Right.
Right? That's it. Everyone wants to think about it as, well, it sucked. It didn't do well. Like, I'm back to the old time where how many people bought it?
Yeah. Well, I could tell you right here, right? So here's a list of games that here's a list, right? This is 2023 year to date, ending September 20. Top 20 games, physical and full game digital from Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox platforms for publishers in the digital leader panel. Now, this is just digital. This is not hard copy games. It's just digital. Number 1, Hogwarts Legacy, right? We know that 15 million people, they sold roughly around 12 to 15 million copies of that game. Okay, and now it's coming out later for Switch, so we don't know more of that. We don't know how many they sold individually on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One afterwards. We know when the game came out originally, 15 million people were playing it. Okay, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is number 2. Madden Football is number 3. Diablo, we heard that 10 million people probably bought it, or 12 million people, whatever. So they're in 4th position. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, okay, is at number 5. 4th this month, 5th overall. Jedi Survivors at the 6th position. And Starfield is at the 7th position. Now, Starfield is number 1 in September. Okay, it sold more in September. We don't know the actual sales, but it looks like they sold around 5 to 6 million copies. I was on record saying they would sell about 5 million copies. I said about 3 million off PC, 2 million off the console. I don't know what that is. We don't know what the full number is. But Starfield, being on Game Pass, outsold games that weren't on Game Pass. Big titles, okay? Mortal Kombat 1, Resident Evil 4, okay? Dead Island 2, Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, FIFA 23, Armor Core, right? All of these things that were not on Game Pass, they said that Starfield is not going to beat these games because no one's going to buy the game. Well, they did buy the game. And if you say it's good or bad, it doesn't matter because they got your money.
Okay, but that even puts it in a more particular category, because not only was Bethesda bought, which means the money that they were bought for went to Bethesda, right? They bought them.
Yep.
They got that money.
They got the money
right?
up front.
They
Yep.
put that money in their pockets.
Yep.
Right? What was the number for Bethesda?
7.2 billion, I think.
All right. So Bethesda as a company
ZeniMax,
put
Bethesda,
$7.2 billion in their pockets.
Yep.
Right? Then they went over to finish their game exclusively on Xbox and PC. And then they get a percentage of whatever was happening from Game Pass. So they got paid twice.
No, they
They got paid twice.
Yep.
So whether you think it didn't sell, it sucked, it's a piece of trash, right? Bethesda made a game and got paid twice, period. Right? They're not going out of business. They're not going anywhere. They're going to make their next game. So regardless of the hate that you guys have for Bethesda, whoever hates them or hates the game, right? The game exists on Game Pass. You, the hater, never had to buy it.
Well,
so I don't understand what the problem is with that particular game. Now, if it was a different game where if you didn't make the game well and you sucked and you had to go away and your company had to shut down, well then, I guess we could just pull off every other developing team out there now because they're all in the same boat. Ubisoft in trouble. EA in trouble.
Well, I want to point something out here, right? Hogwarts is the top-selling game of the year, and it's the third-party game, right? Legend of Zelda is a first-party game on Nintendo, and then EA Madden will end up on Game Pass. Diablo 4 will end up on Game Pass. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 will end up on Game Pass. Star Wars Jedi Survivor will end up on Game Pass. Starfield is on Game Pass. I'm sure down the line, I don't know if Warner Brothers gets bought by Microsoft, but I'm sure Mortal Kombat will probably be on Game Pass down the road, okay? MLB The Show is on Game Pass. Dead Island 2 is on Game Pass. Final Fantasy is making a deal where they're coming to Xbox, and they'll probably be on Game Pass, okay? So EA Sports FC 24, that's going to be on Game Pass. FIFA 23, that's going to be on Game Pass, right? All of these games, Dead Space, brand new game. Everyone loved it, okay? Remastered, okay? That's on Game Pass this month, okay? So a lot of games here, okay, that were top-selling games of the year are either going to be or are on Game Pass right now.
Yeah. And the pieces of the puzzle are slowly coming together. The difference is going to be whether or not the library of Game Pass and the
Dead Island is not on Game Pass? I thought it was. Well,
and
it'll be on Game Pass at some time, Mo. My mistake.
Yeah. The issue is going to be, will Microsoft be able to put together a library for Game Pass in order to cultivate and keep a larger population for the long term? Otherwise, they're in trouble like Netflix, right? However, if we're going to compare what gaming industry does now compared to what they did before, even though I hate Game Pass for the fact that it just breeds non-polished games because they don't have to be held accountable, okay? That to me is the seesaw. If nobody really cares, right? If what is being said in the markets that I'm reading is true, where the population of people who play video games don't care, they just put the money into this portion of entertainment. I'm put this much money into entertainment. That's what I do. This is the percentage of money I put in for video games, right? If we're looking at it just that way, if Microsoft can maintain a library that gets the largest number of people to want to be in that ecosystem for 6 months, then they don't care. Right? Because now the game isn't a game anymore. The game is just a product in the store. I need people to come to my store. What do we have to sell? Well, here's what we have, right? Before it was a bunch of games that no one cared about. But now after acquisition of major studios with major titles, the 200 titles of just whatever games is now going to slowly turn into almost 200 titles of the most crazy games you've ever known, because you know all the publishers, you know them all, you know all the devs, you know all the publishers, and they're all here now. So will that make you stay and pay $15 a month to get Ultimate?
Yeah.
Right? For me, now wait. Now, this is why I'm saying they make the problem, sell the solution. For me not to have to worry about buying another piece of shit game, right? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, I want to spend $400 a year on video games, and whether I spend it on Game Pass or just buying games and taking gambles, right? Which is it?
Right. Because if I buy a game and take the gamble, I'm like, oh, well, it's not good. I have to do a return policy. Oh, it's over 2 hours. I have to see if they get my money back on Steam, right? If I buy it and I play over, I'm stuck. I'm stuck with it. If I buy the game, I open the package, and I got to sell it back to GameStop for a diminished price. Or I pay $10, play the game, and go, I didn't really like that one. I'm going to move on to the next one, right? Do you know what I mean? It's such a good value. If it's a shitty game or not, if it's a shitty game, you pay $70, Battlefield 2042, Cyberpunk 2077, right? And you can't get your money back. You're just stuck with it after a certain period of time. Or now those games, sometime down the road, Battlefield is on Game Pass, Cyberpunk isn't.
Right. You don't. If you're, I don't want to say old school gamer. If you are an avid gamer, if you know about video games, you know the titles that are coming out, you know what's up. You're in the know. Yeah. You're in the know, right? If you're giving me an option, whether or not you want to take my money up front, or do I just not worry about it, and I pay $15 a month, which is nothing in comparison to entertainment value for what you spend. I spend, if I leave the house to do anything, it's $150.
Sure.
Right? Parking, this, whatever I choose to do, whatever the thing I'm going to do, I'm going to end up spending $150, right? So for the hours of entertainment that I'm going to enjoy because I'm an avid gamer, for $15 a month, to not have to worry about another piece of shit game coming across my lap, right? I don't want to say yes, but it makes me say yes because of where we sit in the industry right now.
Right.
They caused the problem. They're going to sell me the solution, and eventually, once again, I will own nothing. Yeah. I will just keep giving you $15 a month to be entertained.
John in chat says MMOs alone cost $15. John, I think what they're going to do, I've said this in the past. I mean, right now, if you just get Elder Scrolls Online, just that, you just play Elder Scrolls Online, right? That's worth the money itself for Game Pass, right there, right? And you can
not the plus edition,
not the plus edition, just the standard game, right? Without the extra storage. Okay, I think World of Warcraft, I've said this for over a year now, that World of Warcraft's coming to Game Pass, right? It's going to come to Game Pass. It'll be part of Game Pass. If it's part of PC Game Pass, but the MMOs, and then Final Fantasy is coming to Game Pass, right? Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Game Pass.
Square Enix wants to get paid.
I mean, I don't know if it's coming. They haven't. Well, hold on. I want to make sure it's clear. They haven't officially said it's coming to Game Pass. They just made a deal with Xbox. I'm assuming it's coming to Game Pass.
How else? Listen, if I'm Square Enix and I'm trying to get paid on Final Fantasy for money I did not receive because I kept it on PlayStation for so long, but we're not selling the numbers that we used to do.
Right.
I'm not selling the numbers. So for me to sell the numbers, I need to go to a different platform. Now, if I go to a different platform and I have to worry about now selling it on that platform, or I cut a deal with the Spence, I get a percentage up front of what how long it's going to be on there for, and they base it on the engagement they have and how much I'll get percentage of the Game Pass money for the next quarter or whatever the deal is. Because the best part of the last 6 months is we were able to figure out what deals that Game Pass was giving to developers.
Yeah.
Once we got at least a piece of that pie, we can pretty much figure out like what the pie wedges are going to be, who's getting paid this quarter, who's not getting paid this quarter, and what money they're going to put into the pile for the next up and coming major title they might accrue. Right. So, yeah, Square Enix wants to get money. If I was Square Enix and I was down in sales, and you were going to put me on Game Pass and give me money up front for just being on Game Pass, the fucking answer is yes. The fucking answer is yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to get $9 million, $10 million just to be on Game Pass. The sales that we missed out on.
Yeah.
Right.
The leaked
document
numbers. I know. The
numbers.
leaked document for GTA Online was $15 million a month for just GTA Online. Right.
Right. Well, we can scale back from there.
Of course. But even if it's a month, $5 million a month, $5 million a month, $10 million a month, whatever it is. Real quick,
for as long as.
Go ahead. As long as what?
No. Go.
Reese says games have been and are dropping buggy / incomplete before Game Pass and unconnected to Game Pass. It's not a cause, but is a partial solution. Absolutely. Look, let's take Game Pass out of this for a second, right? Just take Game Pass out. PlayStation Plus, 2 best games right now that everyone's playing on PlayStation Plus is Battlefield 2042 and Saints Row. Okay? Saints Row sold like garbage. Okay? Sold like garbage.
What were the scores on that, bro? What were the scores on that, bro?
But went over to PlayStation Plus and everyone's playing it. Why? Because they didn't have to put their hard-earned money up for $40, $50, $60, $70, $100 versions when it came out and went on sale. They just waited for it to come on PlayStation Plus and they played it. Battlefield 2042, if you were a person that spent $120 when the game first came out, you should be pissed. Okay? Because now, I spent $0, waited 1 year, and it was on Game Pass in November last year. It's been in almost 1 full year now on Game Pass. And I'm having a blast. Why? Because I didn't invest $120 in that game. Okay? It's still broken, buggy. For the 8 months I was playing it, now it's in good state.
But you care less.
Correct, because I didn't pay my hard-earned money towards it. Because if I don't want to play that broken game, I'll go play a game. Not all 400 games on Game Pass are broke. You know what I'm saying? Come April, Jedi Survivor will be on Game Pass. Why? Because it's on EA. EA games come to Game Pass. Jedi Fallen Order, the first one, came out 1 year almost to the date. So when Survivor comes around, mark it on your calendars. End of March, beginning of April, Jedi Survivor will be on Game Pass. And that alone is worth the $10 for someone that month to play that one game. It is.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. The amount of games in the upper echelons now, as opposed to these 3-year-old or 4-year-old games that were on there, everyone's kind of like, yeah, try it for 5 seconds. Originally, looking through Game Pass was like trying to play your old library. Like, you would go through, you'd pick a couple games, you play it for 5 minutes and be like, I don't care. Next. Now, you're going to have titles all that you want to play. If you didn't get a chance to play them or wanted to replay them again, and now you can play them again, right?
Right.
I personally don't see how the Microsoft plan will fail, but if they get lazy and they start taking advantage of the fact that they don't have to care about what goes on Game Pass, then it becomes a little microcosm of the old video game crash from before, where you think the service is crap because all the games on it are crap, and there's no reason for you to give them money. However, I believe because of the people existing on the planet currently, is the nicest way I can say it, that handing over $15 for entertainment per month on a video game system is a no-brainer. Because they're not going to weigh that out. They're not going to weigh out whether or not the games are trash or not. All they're thinking is, I just played 5 games that it cost me $400 to play them all, and I played them all, and I paid it $15.
Here, I want to prove Krebsy wrong. I like proving people wrong when they say something. Grand Theft Auto 5 is on Game Pass. We talked about this a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. Grand Theft Auto is on Game Pass. See? Play with cloud gaming included with Game Pass. Install including with Game Pass. Buy it to own. $31.99 plus with Game Pass. It's on Game Pass.
Can you imagine, just think for a moment, that the diminishing return on Grand Theft Auto has not reached the point where the game sells below its actual starting price?
Yeah.
Unless it's on Game Pass. Like, I think maybe recently you can get GTA 5 like below $60.
Yeah.
But otherwise it's been $60 the entire time it's existed.
It's actually $70 now.
No, but what I'm saying is,
no, I know it's been full price. Yeah,
the price
full price.
never went down.
Yeah.
Never.
I mean, Nintendo games don't go on sale. Almost never.
Well, the in-between stores do it. Like Target sells on sale.
Sometimes. And they only go down by like $4.
Yeah, but listen.
You get it for $56.
You have to understand retail store. Target buys the video games at a set price.
Sure.
Right? There's no deal. There's no deal with the publisher.
Itself, yeah.
Right? They're just stealing from Paul to pay Peter.
Sure.
Like something else will be charged more, but they're giving you a discount on video games because they know that at Christmas time kids want video games and they want the parents to come in and buy the video games.
Yeah.
So they discount the games. Not because the games are never discounted. The retail store decides to discount them.
Right.
Doesn't come from the publisher.
No. But you go look, if you take they have a lot of sales on Nintendo. If you go to the Nintendo store, the shop, they sell games for like 2 cents. Like literally 2 cents. It'll be like an independent game they sell for a penny or 2 pennies or 99 cents or $2. But if you go to their first party titles, that shit is lock solid $60, $70. They never put it on sale. You go to the Target and you want to buy Ultimate Alliance 3 or you want to buy something, you're paying full price years later. Zelda, $50, $60, like boom. It doesn't go on sale because they don't have to. They have you by the balls. Like, you want to play this game? You want to play Zelda? You got to get on the Switch? You're paying full price. Doesn't matter if it's 6 years old. I don't care. Right? That's what Grand Theft Auto is.
It's because it's not a cross-platform game. That's why.
Correct. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto is. Grand Theft Auto is, you can buy it on the PC. You can play it on Steam Deck, PlayStation.
All right, but let's talk about it though. Briefly. Let's talk about it. Okay. Grand Theft Auto cultivated a fan base over 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. When they first went from 2D to 3D was an immaculate day. I remember the day when we played Grand Theft Auto 3 on the PlayStation. Okay.
Glorious day.
And they just kept getting better.
Yeah.
And why is it? Because it's a microcosm of the real world with a sarcastic slapstick attitude pasted over top of it.
Yeah.
Right? You got to do whatever you wanted to do in that game that you couldn't do in real life in order to relieve tension, right? Everybody appreciated it. Everyone. I'm a crime lord. I get to go around robbing banks, stealing from people, stealing from prostitutes, doing whatever I want, right? And I get to evade the police, right? And then I have to find the secret locations where I can get the stars so I can get the lower my wanted level. Otherwise, I can't escape, right? They made the escaping things a little bit more intricate now. Right. But back in the day, remember, the only way you got away was you had to find the stars. And you had to learn the map and find out where the stars were in order to lower your wanted level. Right? That's how it worked. So it was ingenious. And now you gave people an open world playground to do all the malicious, crazy, psychotic shit they wouldn't do in real life.
Right.
They have a little playground where you can do it. So as far as I'm concerned, even though I don't agree with it 100%, I think GTA 5 is the greatest therapy the world has ever seen.
Until Grand Theft Auto 6.
Well, as I've stated, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will probably be amazing. However, I'm not sure it will beat Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, as far as
sales.
Longevity,
total
longevity, like
it will shatter. It will shatter every record.
I still think 5's the pinnacle.
I agree with you on total sales. To sell 180 million copies,
but that's going to be over.
It's a decade. It's a decade of almost selling 20 million copies a year. Okay,
a year,
almost.
That's insane.
Right? It's like 18 million copies a year for 10 years. Okay.
Yep.
I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will shatter every single record. Pre-order, day one, week one, month one, year one. It'll break all records. I don't know if it'll break the 180 million because let's put it this way: Minecraft has sold 300 million units they've sold, and they're on the iPad, the iPhone, the computer, the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Nintendo Switch. They're everywhere. Okay, they sold 300 million. That's a 120 million gap between Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto. Okay, one's like super kid friendly, like family friendly, and the other one's, as Travis said, hobo simulator, murder hobo simulator. Okay, and it sold 180 million people. Right, I own 4 copies. I owned it for the 360. I owned it for the One. And I owned it for the this one, and I owned it for PC. I own 4 copies of the same game over 10 years. Okay, it's worse than Skyrim, for God's sakes.
Don't even get me started about Skyrim. I love Skyrim.
So let me go into real quick, since we're talking about Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto GTA 5 roleplay server 5M warns users against real-world cars and map imports. Okay, so the warning comes just 2 months after GTA owner Rockstar acquired the team. The team behind the biggest Rockstar game roleplay and creator communities, 5M and Red M, which is Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption. The warning begins with the focus on in-game cars. Some 5M servers let players drive around in cars based in real-world models. Indeed, these free-form servers are among most of the most popular available, and some of them charge across a fee. Okay, he says, quote, "You must fully remove all real-world vehicles from your server. We cannot allow custom assets, okay, or mods that infringe on third-party intellectual properties. Real-world brands, unique vehicle designs, and 3D software models are generally protectable under a trademark or copyright. If you use a real-world car pulled from another game without permission, that could also result in claims against the server, both the car company, brand, logo, car design, or game developer 3D model." He says, "What we can use instead, we encourage the community to get creative, design your own unique vehicles and brands." Okay, he also said users cannot import the map from GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption, or any other games into the server. Now, just briefly talking about that on the surface, they're like, oh, don't do this. But why would they say you can't do Red Dead Redemption, right? You cannot bring maps from GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption, or any other into their full 5N role-playing servers? Why? You know why, Sarge. Come on. You could say it. Okay?
I don't want to say it.
Okay? They're doing it. You know they're doing it. We're going to put it in the big book of bull. Correction. They don't want you to buy those games. They want you to not bring those maps in because sometime down the line, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have Liberty City in it. It's going to have San Andreas in it. It's going to have Red Dead Redemption's map in it where it's modern day and you're flying there in your vehicles in the online world and maybe DLCs. This is exactly why. This is the same play they did when they said that GTA, when they were doing the 5M role-playing, they took them down for a reason until they didn't. And then they bought them. Okay? So this is the play. This is the play that Rockstar, you could say that it's for something else. I'm doing the 30 and still gaming prediction and put it in the big book of bull. Okay? Rockstar Games and 5M don't want you to put that in their servers, customize maps. They were fine with it before, but now that they own 5M, and now if Grand Theft Auto 6 is revving along here, okay, they don't want you putting it in there because they're going to be putting it in there themselves, and they want to charge you the DLC, baby, or they want to charge you to the path of least resistance, right? Maybe they don't charge you for the new maps, but the only way you can play it is going through the online world of inside Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay. The other ones in GTA universe, yes, Red Dead, I don't see it. We'll see. Big Book of Bull. It's in there, Trebsy. I said it. Could be wrong, but it's now official. Okay, so I think it's interesting, Sarge. I think it's interesting that they're copyright striking, and I think another reason is they don't want them to use customized cars. Why? Because I think that what Fortnite's doing, Fortnite has brands like BMW inside of Fortnite and stuff. They do marketing and stuff like that, right? Grand Theft Auto Online is Fortnite, okay? It's the meta. Grand Theft Auto 6 is potentially a meta where you can play the game and they can have customization. They can have brands like Porsche or Ferrari or Lamborghinis, and they can put them in the game. I'm not saying they're doing it, But what I'm saying is they could potentially do it because not only do they get more money, because now they get money from the dealerships, like from the actual brands to advertise in their game, but then they get more microtransactions because people want to buy the BMWs. They want to buy those type of things. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah, but Grand Theft Auto, if you're a car person, when you play Grand Theft Auto, even though the cars in the game aren't real, you know what kind of car it is.
sure.
By the funny name, by the
You know
funny
it's a
name that they
Porsche,
gave
but
it.
you also know what the
Right.
name of it is.
But you know what you know what the car is in the game. Like they gave it a funny name, but you know the car. So I don't understand what the difference is whether or not they wanted to import the real cars or not. What does that matter? Right? Because my problem is I don't want them to fall down the hole where we can't wreck the cars now because Porsche doesn't want to see their car wrecked or that kind of nonsense. Like if you put a Porsche in there, I want to see the Porsche wrecked. Like I want to see it completely destroyed. Right? As a matter of fact, this better be the greatest car destruction type game of all time. Right? Like driving around on 3 wheels, no roof, still driving around, thinking like you're Buford T. Justice from Smokey and the Bandit. Like that kind of destruction. I want to see that kind of card stuff. I want to go back to the car thing. Yeah. That Grand Theft Auto was.
Oh, the
like,
checklist.
You can have a good, you can have a good story, but have it be where there's the cargo container, find the cars, right? And there's so many cars, you got to find them, right?
Look, if Call of Duty can fortification Call of Duty where you can buy Skeletor and put him in and Lilith and Spawn and everything else inside of Call of Duty, okay? Why couldn't Grand Theft Auto do Fortification Night, okay, where all of a sudden you're buying skins and instead of being I'm talking about the online version, not the single-player version, right? The online version where you buy a skin and now you look like Nicolas Cage, or you look like Keanu Reeves, or you look like Captain America. You see what I'm saying with this? Grand Theft Auto 6 is not just Grand Theft Auto 6 online. It potentially could be a universe like what Fortnite's trying to make, like what Meta's trying to make inside the metaverse, right? Grand Theft Auto 6, Rockstar, has this opportunity where they can do something that nobody else can do, and they already have a format, man. They already have a thing there. You're absolutely right. They don't do real names of cars, but they could, right? They don't do mods where you can become certain things officially, but now they can, right? Because Rockstar's like, man, do we have to sell 180 copies again to make this much money again, and then shark cards? Because we looked up the number the other day. Rockstar Online has only made $7 billion over 10 years from the online version, right? Which is...
What do you mean only?
Yeah, hold on a second. 6 years of Fortnite, they've made $26 billion, okay? 6 years for Fortnite, or 7 years for Fortnite, they made $26 billion, okay? And Grand Theft Auto made $7 billion over the time frame online. So Rockstar looks at that.
The difference is Epic is broke, and
no, I get
Rockstar
that.
is not.
But when you can look at that and go, wait a minute, we're doing an online thing. Why can't we make that money, right?
Because you got to sell $20 skins.
This is what I'm saying. That Rockstar, I didn't say they're going to do it, but they can do it because they see how much money they're leaving on the table with the way that
for
they
sure.
do it.
Oh, for sure. That's also a problem.
They would be idiots not to do that. They have to pay. They don't want to. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? You pay for the license, but you're giving them to advertise in the game. They do that right now. There's people taking out ads in American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator to find actual truck drivers. Real life business promoting their game inside. This is not new. They did this in Second Life in 2004. Real companies would advertise inside the actual video game for people to do brandings of stuff. This is not new, people. This is 20 years old. But how is GTA 6 going to be top realistic horse balls? I mean, they probably will. Horse balls. They'll do some realistic. I don't know, name something else more realistic. They'll show you cat's nuts. I don't know what they're going to do next, Dupless, but they're going to do it, and they're going to show it in detail. Now, we did have a rumor and claim speculation that on October 26th, Sarge, there was a detailed piece that came out saying a GTA 6 trailer is gonna come out on October 26th. Now, it's not true until it happens. And when it happens, the person that put the details of what the trailer is, very specific, like what the music is, certain lines that they said, Okay, so if this trailer, one, comes out on October 26th and then says exactly what this guy said, it's 100% obviously true then, right? All things that were leaked, all things that were said, all become reality within the moment the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer hits, if it does come out on October 26th. Humans, yeah, human balls will be immaculate. They'll look so realistic. All right, Battlefield. We already talked about Battlefield. We already talked about Minecraft has surpassed 300 million copies sold. They just had Minecraft 15th anniversary is coming up in 2024. This is something I wanted to bring up, Sarge. Minecraft just jarred my brain. A lot of people don't trust Phil Spencer because of certain things he says, right? But since Phil Spencer's been with Microsoft, he came in 2014. He brought in Minecraft, right? He's brought in Bethesda. Or Mojang. He brought in Bethesda. He's brought in Activision Blizzard. He's brought the system to Game Pass. Everyone likes to bring back on how they did. Xbox 360 did it back in the day, and Xbox One did, right? Where they were buying things to try to get into the system, right? To compete in the 360 era, where they were buying exclusives just like Sony did, and vice versa. And yet, since Phil's been there, Phil's turned the ship around because Xbox wanted to be the set-top box, and now it's going to be an app on everything, right? That's what they're going to do. So Phil, even though people want to give him shit, he hasn't done. Everyone remembers I don't even remember what the last guy's name was. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I think Phil truly wants to do good things, but obviously he works for Microsoft, and by that you're the bad guy, right? But since he's been with the company in 2014, just have to say he's the longest standing CEO for the other companies, right? Reggie left. PlayStation's been through two people since Phil Spencer has been since the CEO. Okay, so I don't see it when they say Xbox did this, Microsoft did this. They didn't do it under Phil Spencer. All that stuff they did before wasn't under Phil Spencer. Since Phil Spencer's been there, he's acquired a lot of stuff. Okay, now there might be other problems that are happening under Phil Spencer, but the stuff that Xbox is being tainted for wasn't underneath Phil Spencer's watch, right? So Minecraft 15th anniversary is coming up, so I'm sure they're going to do a bunch of different stuff for them when they come up. Now, Minecraft had a bunch of stuff come out. Let me find where this is. I'm missing out the... Minecraft announces that they're going to have Star Wars. I got to find the whole thing. I lost the story. Let me bring up the story. Minecraft. Damn it. There it is. So Minecraft has a whole bunch of stuff happening. They've added a whole bunch of stuff. So it's past 300,000. That's not the right one. They're introducing Star Wars. There it is. Here's everything that was announced. Minecraft Live 2023, everything that was announced. So Minecraft Live returned in 2023 and brought to us big announcements, including new Star Wars DLC that takes players from the Padawan to Jedi Knight. Planet Earth 3 DLC, a ton of new features in mid-2024, Minecraft Vanilla Update 1.21, and more. There's also a breakdown of all the biggest announcements is in one place to ensure that you don't miss a thing. Now, Phil Spencer said that parity across the board with Call of Duty, he's not going to take anything away from this Call of Duty on PlayStation or Nintendo. They're all going to have the same thing. He says that they're going to have more of an approach like Minecraft, and Minecraft's appealing because it's the younger crowd, and they can sell skins and do a whole bunch of stuff, and this is what they're doing with Call of Duty now, right? Call of Duty, before Microsoft bought them, Activision started making the plans of where Godzilla's in there now. You're getting rapper skins and singers and pop stars and celebrities. And
Have you seen the commercial for Modern Warfare 3?
I saw the new Modern Warfare 3 before the show started. So it's a live action. It's called The Lobby. And basically all I can see is that's one big promotion of microtransactions, of selling skins and different things, right? That's what it is. Okay? So that's what it is. They look at Call of Duty and they don't want to make it different than anyone else. They want to make it across the board like a Fortnite. It's Fortnite's competition. That's what it is, right? Now, I have no proof of this. I don't know if Microsoft, they well knew before that they were going to go through, and they said, look, we're going to get you guys. So why don't you just make it like Fortnite as we go? Modern Warfare 3 comes out, you can sell the skins and whatnot, because they truly don't make efforts now until after this one, right? Next year is when they actually get a say, because Modern Warfare 3 is Activision's this one until Microsoft, now they own them. But that's what it is. They want to make they want to make Fortnite money with the skins, okay? Selling all that stuff. This is Grand Theft Auto Online. This is Call of Duty. This is Fortnite. This is Meta, right? Every company has their little meta that they want to have, where people can make microtransactions after microtransactions after microtransactions. Everybody wants that. PlayStation is trying to get that. This is why they're pumping in 10 games to be live service games, right? Because they don't want to pay 30% of all microtransactions over to Microsoft when Call of Duty comes over to their platform, right? So they want to make their own game. They want to make their own things so they can make in-house, and then when they put them on all the other platforms, they get 30% of all the other microtransactions that are coming from other people, and this is how they do the subsidizing of the stuff, right? So this is a big jockey thing. Like, who's going to get positioned first? Who's going to have the number one meta in video game space? Who's going to make more cosmetic sales? Okay, that's what it's going to be. You're going to look down, and it's all going to go into digital goods. Okay, but you're going to look down a list down the line.
But that's all it is now.
Yeah, it's
the
video games.
Instead of you buying a video game that has a campaign and then a multiplayer at the end, you're buying a video game that has a store inside it. So I'm buying a video game for the privilege to buy shit inside your digital store. That's basically what this is now. It's not a game. You're paying me to put the store in your house, and then you're buying stuff from me.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
No, Krebsy, what I'm saying is Call of Duty is turning into Fortnite. Yes, they had microtransactions and loot boxes in the game. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about marketing it where they're selling you Snoop Dogg skins inside of Call of Duty, right? They're selling you that type of stuff. In the last couple of years, they've taken what Fortnite's been doing in Fortnite and moving it over, duplicating it inside of Call of Duty. Yeah, of course Warzone's free, but this is what I'm saying. They want to make microtransactions. This is what they want to do, right? They have the single-player campaign they pay for you. If you don't want to pay for it, it'll come on to Game Pass down the road. And if you want to pay for it on the other platforms, you'll pay for it. They get their 30% cut. If you want to play Warzone, it's free. It's on every platform. Microtransactions, the skins. You want to be this rapper. You want to be this celebrity. You want to be this comic book character. You can do it just the same, right? You want to be Skeletor? Pay the money, right? You want to be Optimus Prime? Go to Fortnite, right? You want to be Godzilla or whatever? Go to this game. That's what they're doing. So let's go back to Bethesda. Pete Hines. Okay. Bethesda head of publishing, Pete Hines, is retiring after 24 years. Right. Hines has announced his time at Bethesda Software and has come to an end. Okay. He says Pete Hines is the head publishing at Bethesda after retiring after 24 years at the gaming company. He posted on X, formerly Twitter. I hate that they do that. Hines announced at the time of Bethesda has come to an end. Hines first joined Bethesda in 1999 as a senior vice president of global marketing and communications, becoming a well-known figure at the company and faced of fallout. Last year, Hines became Bethesda's head of publishing, and Bethesda, he was also senior vice president before that. Bethesda has been some major shifts over the past couple of years. Microsoft completed the acquisition of Skyrim developer in 2021 in August, and Bethesda released the space exploration RPG followed by that. Now, Pete Hines said, after 24 years, I've decided my time with Bethesda Softworks has come to an end. I'm retiring and will begin an exciting new chapter in my life, exploring internet interests and passions, donating my time where I can, and taking more time to enjoy life. This was not a decision I came easily or quickly, but after the amazing career, culminating in the incredible launch of Starfield, it feels like its time is right. Now, it's certainly not a goodbye by any means. My love for Bethesda and the people have never wavered. It's also never stopped being a part of the incredible community it has been grown. Thank you, hundreds of thousands of fans who've gotten to meet the talk over the last 24 years. Your energy, your creativity, your support has all been a big part of my journey, and I look forward to experiencing the next part of my adventure alongside you. Working with the amazing people, teams, and studios at Bethesda has also been a great experience of my life, and I'm incredibly proud of everything that we've done together, and I'm generally excited to see the amazing things that it will create next. So, a lot of people are taking this as he doesn't like Microsoft. He doesn't like Microsoft. He's leaving the company.
No, it's just time, bro.
Right?
Do you know how much of your life and time has to be when you're inside one of the upper echelons of one of these companies? If Starfield was the culmination of his last thing,
Right.
you know how long it takes to make a video game,
Right.
right?
To
You
sit
think he's gonna
there-
hang around and wait for? You think he's gonna hang around and wait for Elder Scrolls 6 to be done?
Right.
No,
He doesn't have
he's
to.
done.
Right. He doesn't have
He's
to.
done.
He's 54, and if he wants to retire early, by 10 years,
Good for him.
Right. Good
for
you.
him.
Like
You guys think that you have to retire at 65. Like, you can retire whenever you have enough money in the bank to stop fucking working.
Now-
so if you guys are planning on 65, up your game, bro. Up your game.
Now,
retire early.
It doesn't come without warrant, though, because he did have the email to Phil Spencer because when they bought Starfield, it was supposed to be on all platforms. He sent an email out saying, wouldn't it have been nice to know this? Because why does Activision get to be on all platforms, but we don't? This was in an email that he sent, okay? Now, people look at that and say, well, he's pissed off, and this is why he's leaving. And my thing to you is, I don't know if anyone else has worked at a job where sometimes your coworkers piss you off and you get mad at them, but at the end, it's a business, right? I personally never took it personally, and in my field industry, I get reamed out by a director of photography or a director if you do something stupid, right? You get reamed out, and then the next day you're back to work, right? It's not that I stomp off like my feet where I don't like what they're doing, right? Like it. I don't think not one inkling thinks that he left because Microsoft, he didn't like Microsoft or what Phil Spencer did with Starfield. I think this proves it, right? I think this proves it right here. Starfield, number 7, okay, just 1 month and a couple, 6 weeks after launch, it's 7th on the list, okay, so far in digital sales, okay? So I'm gonna say that there's no problem here. He literally left because Starfield is done. It's out. He waited for it to come out, and then he moved on. And he didn't want to invest another 6 or 7 years into the next project of if that's Elder Scrolls or finish out Indiana Jones. Like, he's done. He's done. I think it's admirable that he waited till the end of Starfield, right?
Yeah.
If he didn't like Microsoft in the beginning, he could have been like, "Peace out. I'm done." Why stay? Why stay to the end of Starfield before Starfield's launched?
Because you got a Starfield bonus. That's why.
Of course, right? But
the company just got bought out. He got his bonus. Yeah. If we just got bought out for $7 billion and then release a game that hit the top of the charts and we got paid for that too, I think I'm looking for my walking papers as well.
Right.
That would be the equivalent. That would be the equivalent of the guy who worked on Star Citizen, whose brother who took $7 million and just walked the fuck out.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. Wasn't Pete Hines the head of publishing, Krebsy? So who's replacing him? Well, right now, is Bethesda publishing anything? Are they publishing anything? Is anything else coming out with Bethesda? They just pumped out a bunch of different games. The next like publishing stuff, we don't know behind the scenes. He said, if someone leaves, you usually like have an understudy or someone else that could take the position because they know what his job was, right? I mean, I don't think this is a big red flag that Pete Hines left because he's the head of publishing and now their biggest game came out and it's done. Publishing. It's out. It's done. And the next big game to come out is what, Indiana Jones from Bethesda? Or it's Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever little game, another game that they have. But this AAA title, okay, is what it is. Oh, he had a tough ride in 76, and that's when he was senior vice president. Okay, I don't think there's anyone replacing him. If they announced it, I haven't seen if they announced it. What I'm saying though is, do they need to have a replacement for him like right now? I don't think they do. Right? He's not the CEO of the company. Right? Jim Ryan needs a replacement. Pete Hines doesn't need a replacement ASAP. So even Phil on the interview said, my good friend Pete. Now, obviously, it's bullshit. He's got to say what he's got to say. But I truly think they are friends. I truly believe that. I don't think there's bad blood between them. I don't think that because he didn't like Phil's reaction to why does Activision get to stay on and these guys don't. Well, here, let me do the trump card to you. Because I said so. I'm the CEO. And I decided that Activision is going to go on here because this is what it makes for microtransactions and whatnot. It's a $30 million or 30 million copies sold a year, where you guys sell 12 or 6 or 8, 10, right? It's a completely different thing. We're going to use you to leverage Game Pass, and we're going to use Call of Duty to leverage money, okay? Because it sells so well with microtransactions and sells so well as a game itself, right?
Yep. That's it.
So let's go to, what do we got here? I already got that one. Netflix. Netflix tests streaming games to US TVs to take on PlayStation and Xbox. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, Sarge, I said that cloud gaming is going to come faster sooner than later, right? Then last week we talked about PlayStation cloud service is here. And here we are just 1 week later, Sarge. Netflix tests streaming games to US TVs to take on PlayStation and Xbox. But cloud service is not going to happen. The infrastructure is not there. It's just not happening. Physical goods next year are leaving the big box stores, okay? Netflix is now doing cloud service, okay? They're in talks with Rockstar. Rumor is that they either want to make a game directly for Netflix from Rockstar, like a mobile game, or a game, maybe they pick them up. Now, jokingly, I said, what about if Netflix throws the cash at Rockstar, not to buy them, but to get them exclusively for a time being? If it's 1 month, 2 months, you see what I'm saying? Like, money talks. And I don't think Rockstar would be like, no, we want to go on all systems. They're like, how much are you gonna pay us? I'm sorry, is that a B? You're gonna give us $1 billion for exclusive for 6 months? Okay. Because people go over to Netflix and play it, and then they'll buy it when it comes out on PlayStation. They'll buy it when it comes out on Xbox. They'll buy it when it comes out on all the other platforms because it's Rockstar, because it's Grand Theft Auto 6. You know what I mean?
If one of those guys decided to get a wild hair up their ass, and believe me, that one of those guys in the crazy companies like Google, Netflix, or one of those guys, the big ones, I do not put it past them to throw money at Rockstar to say, we want you for 6 months before anybody else gets it. I guarantee that was something that they would do.
Krebsy says I also personally would have kicked back, drank some whiskey so I could get to 25 years. For 25 years for what? I think
think it. Be realistic with yourself for just a moment. If Google,
Apple,
right? If
Amazon,
Google walked up, or Amazon, one of the ones that you guys hate, right? Walked up and just said, "I want Grand Theft Auto for 6 months. How much? What's it going to cost?
What's the price?
What's the price?
What's the price? They can pay it."
And so you would not be able to play Grand Theft Auto for an additional 6 months because they have it, unless you sign up for the service. How many people do you think would sign up for the service?
Yeah. Google, Apple, Tencent, Netflix. They're like,
that is completely plausible just to throw a rock in the window. Absolutely. That is a complete plausible outcome.
Mo, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's plausible. Okay? I'm saying it's plausible because Google, Apple, Amazon are all players that are trying to get into the business, right? We do know that they're in talks to Rockstar, right? There's even rumors that PlayStation might buy Take-Two. I don't think that's happening. But you know what is plausible? PlayStation going up to Rockstar and going, how much for time exclusive? Netflix, how much for time exclusive? Amazon, how much for time exclusive? You ever been in a bid war when you're trying to buy a house and everyone else is trying to buy the same house and the realtor tells you that there's other people? Well, you got to sign now. I have another couple ready to buy this house. They're really excited about it, right? That's what's happening right now. People's mouths are foaming. Companies are foaming at the mouth because they're like, wait a minute, is it true? Grand Theft Auto is coming out next year? Strauss-Zelnick says it's going to be their biggest year ever.
Right around the time where everybody's trying to get into cloud gaming and digital and get control over their subscription models. Come on, man.
Right.
It's plausible. I'm not saying
I'm not saying buying Take-Two. I'm saying renting a time frame to get the timed exclusive for the biggest game on the planet in the last decade.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
I say it's plausible.
Absolutely, it's plausible. Right? What about if Microsoft does it? Hell, they already have a good relationship. Grand Theft Auto 5 is already on Game Pass. It comes off, it comes back on, it comes back off, it goes back on. I don't know.
Well, because the holiday's coming up, you want to get Grand Theft Auto back on there.
Well, if they make the announcement, it won't come out till next year this time, right? So we'll see what happens. We got Hogwarts Legacy is going to be coming out on Nintendo Switch. It's finally coming out. Hogwarts Legacy reveals first Switch screenshots. It doesn't look terrible on the Switch. I'm surprised it's running on the Switch. I'll be honest with you, Sarge. These are the screenshots of it.
There's just certain things that I'm going to let go.
Right?
I don't want to know.
I mean, I think this is great though for them to get it on the Switch. It looks good on the Switch. Look, I applaud Portkey and Avalanche for taking their time, not releasing all of these things at the exact same time to be like Cyberpunk. Okay, I applaud that they released the next gen first, then the last gen or the old gen second, and then now they're working on the Switch. I think as soon as this launches, I think at the Video Game Awards show, this is supposed to come out. I think November 14th, which is about 3 weeks before the Video Game Awards show. I think at the Video Game Awards show, we get a trailer or something to say about DLC that comes out sometime next year. I would say like February, March, that time for some sort of DLC that's happening with Hogwarts Legacy. I have a feeling, just a gut feeling. I don't have any proof about it in any way, shape, or form. I said in a video that I did like 8-9 months ago, I said that Hogwarts Legacy will not talk about DLC until all the systems are out. November 14th is it. Once that game is out, that means all the systems that they made it for are out, and now they can start talking about DLC coming out. So I think that's plausible as well. Right? Now, I don't know if the time frame, it comes out in February. Maybe it comes out next summer. But I think they're working on, what's it called? DLC, for some sort of. Oh, and then February next year, we finally get the mission that was on PlayStation exclusively for the last year from Hogwarts Legacy, which now will be on Hogwarts Legacy all systems when it comes out next February, because they have the exclusive rights for 1 year. And the last story is Second Extinction. The final update on Second Extinction.
What's a better story than that one to finish on?
No, I mean, we're
all right. Second Extinction.
All right, Second Extinction is basically done. They came out and said, we're writing this today to mix emotions as we share our important news about our future plans for the game. After a thoughtful consideration and exploration of our best course of action, we have made a difficult decision to end active development on Second Extinction, which is pretty funny, Sarge. You know why? Because additionally, for some unforeseen show-stopping issues prevented us from leaving early access and game preview. The game never left early access and game preview. Now, people bought this game. Okay? People bought this game. It was out for 2 years, 3 years in early access preview program. We played it. We had fun, but I was like, it's got a long way to go before it's good. And now it's done, right? So it says they're removing it from the stores. Okay? It will not be on the storefronts anymore. But if you own the game, you can still play the game. You just won't be able to purchase the game anymore, so they're done with it, right? And this is just yet another reason that games, doesn't matter if it's alpha, doesn't matter if it's beta, doesn't matter if it's early access, doesn't matter if it's preview, doesn't matter if it's fully gold and it's out and relaunch, they're all the same, right? They have a potential of never working, never coming out, getting your money up front, and you banking it going, I believe in this game, and then because they didn't have enough they didn't have enough clientele, they close it down, and you're there holding your cock in your hand and a controller in the other because you can't play a game anymore because no one's going to play this game now, regardless if it's still there if you own it, right? Because this game lives or dies with a group. If you don't have a group to play it with you, then it's done. So if you have 3 friends that like to play games together, you can play this game. But if you're by yourself, you're going to feel like this game's pretty dumb because you need a group, and you don't want to get into matchmaking because then matchmaking, it's you know what I mean? It's the Dark Tide. It's the Alien game. It's name the game here. You need a full group to play this, and once no one can buy it anymore, then it's done, and then it slowly just dies and strangles. It's like putting it in a chokehold and watching it just go to sleep. Okay, that's what's happening with Second Extinction. It's being extinct. So because of that, Abe Vigoda, here he is. You've been Vigoda. Second Extinction, you've been Vigoda. There it is. He hasn't made an appearance for a long time.
That's because you just decided not to use it, not because no games out there didn't die.
You're right. You're right. What's the other game that failed? It doesn't matter. This is for all other games that have failed in the past year, 6 months, 8 months.
How many are just fucking gone?
You've been Vagoted.
Or they just said, hey, by the way, we're closing down the servers.
That's right. Oh, one more time. Marvel's Avengers, we forgot you. It's September. You've been Vagoted. You can no longer buy. It's delisted. You can no longer buy Marvel's Avengers. It's gone. Just Vagoda, you're on overtime. Overtime this week. It's a dead game. Dead game. You can no longer buy it. So
you know what's funny about Vagoda is the fact that it's a triple joke.
Yeah.
It's a triple joke because people don't know who the fuck he is at all.
No.
Right? And that's what makes it part of the gaming thing is because it's a game that you never heard of that's dead and you don't give a shit about it.
That's right.
Right?
You're like, who's Abe Vagoda?
Well, who's Abe Vagoda? Like you have no fucking idea. It's fucking great.
Right.
It's one of the greatest jokes we have.
I love Abe Vagoda, right? If you watch The Godfather, if you watch Taxi, if you watch a bunch of other
Barney Miller.
Barney Miller, that's
Barney
what it was,
Miller.
Right?
Yeah,
if you watch that stuff, he's a great actor, right? He reminds me of one of my uncles.
Uncles, yeah.
He reminds me of Uncle Cece, right? It reminds me of so like so people might think we're making fun of Abe Vigoda, but we're not. We're respecting Abe Vigoda because he's a great actor that no one really paid attention to, and that's why we use it for video games that no one paid attention to, and they're dead games. And Abe Vigoda is gone. So every time we do that, it's a little nod to Abe Vigoda for his great career, and yet we're using him as a joke for dead games. So can we go to Twitter links working in Discord? Sure, we sure can. There it is. Vagoda. Twitter links don't working in Discord. That's what it is. All right. We got time for a couple of questions. So if you'd like to submit your questions, I'll open it up right now. Give me a second. Okay. Submit your questions. Hit that blue link or that white link. Ask something. Click it. You can ask us a question from any of the topics inside that we had tonight. If you guys don't have a question, well, then we're just going to sit here in silence until we get one.
No, who wants to do it in silence? Oh my God!
You know what?
I've never seen so many games with potential just be completely and totally pissed on in the last 5 years. It's incredible the number of games and IPs that they just didn't give a shit about because they were just trying to write it on the book.
Yeah. I mean, the Lord of the Rings one's the worst, I think, this year. Gollum, I think that's the worst one.
That is a complete and total cash grab scam.
Oh,
100%.
That game died. Hold on a second. Abe working overtime. Vagoda back. Gollum gone. Man, there's been a lot of games. I didn't realize that until
the King Kong game. Come on, bro.
Oh, can we can't kill that already. I mean, it's dead already. I think it launched.
DOA,
I think it launched today.
Bro.
I think it launched today.
Come on,
or it
bro.
launches this week or something. The King Kong game looks absolute like trash. You know,
so think of it this way. In the old days, you had passion, fire, talent, and risk taking to make a game that may or may not have done well, but still your company stayed afloat for you to make another game.
Yeah.
Today, if it's not a live service game, you're fucking dead. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how the industry was built upon risk and just making a small game, get a following, and make a bigger and better game. And the industry was built on that. And today, nobody wants to take a risk at all. At all.
We'll take a risk. Who wants to put money on us for G.I. Joe Battlefield? Who wants to put money on us? I don't know. I know nothing of game development.
As soon as Hasbro falters a little bit more and they can't hold on to more IPs, somebody else will get it. Somebody else get the license.
Sarge, we're getting momentum for Transformers game. Okay, It's been almost
Give me momentum.
365 days since the last time they showed it at the last Video Game Awards. Nothing's been said. The toys have made landing. The toys of the video game have made landing. They're coming out in December. Okay.
What toys?
The toys for
the pictures?
game.
Is there pictures?
There is.
Put them on. Bring them up.
Yeah.
Bring them up.
Hold on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's
which game?
Transformers Reactivate.
Wait. There are toys coming for a game that's not out yet?
That's correct.
That's a mishandle right there.
Nope. It's this is what I think is going to happen right here.
Early promotion.
They wanted to do promotion. Now this is a little messed up because this is where the hell did the tab go? Is this it? Okay.
So wait, you're telling me there's going to be toys for a game that's not out yet?
Yeah. So
we get to see what the guys look like.
Yeah, and it's from the video game leaks that we showed earlier this year. Okay. So this is the 2-pack.
Let me see this.
This is the 2-pack. This is Starscream and Bumblebee. Okay. This is Starscream and Bumblebee. This is the actual character models from the actual game that were in the leaks. Now, if you look at the box, it says Transformers Rise. Okay. Transformers Rise. Now, They came out and said the 2-pack is going to say Rise, but when they sell them individually, it'll say Transformers Reactivate on the box. But because they made these and they've been sitting on these for quite some time, it would cost them thousands, maybe millions of dollars to do packaging, right? So they're selling these. This, I think it's Shockwave and Optimus Prime and Starscream and Bumblebee. Okay, those are the 2-packs that are happening right now. Supposedly December 10th is when they're supposed to come out. Okay, now the Video Game Awards show is on the 7th. Okay, so the 10th. Let me look at a calendar real fast. Okay, let's see. December 7th is a Thursday. December 10th is a Sunday. Okay, so what I think is going to happen, and we could maybe put this in the big book of Bull. Okay. But we are going to get a Transformers second trailer, a breakdown at the Video Game Awards show. Okay, they're going to show a trailer. I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, and they're going to announce the beta. Okay, and they're going to show these toys come out, and these are going to cross promote when it comes out. Or they say fuck the beta, because it doesn't matter if you're in early access, alpha, beta. It's a free to play game, and they just fucking put it out there. Right? They put it out there. It's been in works for 4 or 5 years, from Certain Infinity now to Splash Damage. Splash Damage has had it for 3 years up to this point. Certain Infinity worked on it for 2 years with Digital Extreme. Okay? So I'm speculating a lot here. But these toys, okay, are the real deal. This is actually happening. These toys are on shore now. They just came into the country. Okay? So these will be coming out, but we just don't know the exact date. Now, the leak date is what I said. Now, here is a picture. Let me bring up all these pictures here so you can see. And one more. Okay. So here's the picture of Starscream and him close up. Now, Bumblebee, obviously the pixels are very shitty here, so it's not high quality, okay? Someone took a picture of their, like, flip phone and took a picture of this. I don't know why. Okay. But Bumblebee doesn't look very good, but that's his almost same character model, and Starscream the same, okay? Then we have them in Transformer form, in vehicle form, okay? And that's the exact same thing you saw in the trailer with the 2 guns on the front of his
Look, even Bumblebee can dual wield.
Yeah, he's dual wielding, right? And then there's the back of the box. Now, the back of the box actually shows footage. If you look at these 2 boxes down here, okay? This is actual footage from the video game itself. Okay? Now, obviously, in the back of the box right here down below, it says Splash Damage, which is the company that's making the game. Now, the front of the box says Transformers Rise, which wasn't made by Splash Damage. It was made by Certain Infinity. Okay, so
this seems like a last minute agreement between these 2 companies. What it sounds like.
Well, for the toys anyway, right? So I'm excited because this is the only thing we've seen so far from the last thing we saw earlier this year, where I made all the videos from the leak content that
I don't know, man.
DBZ Luna and
listen, I wanna remain positive, right? I want to remain positive, but before you announce your game and tell me you're having a game and show me something you're already putting toys out, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm always hopeful, but at the same time, they do nothing but shit on our childhood. That's
Yeah.
all they do. They don't know how to use the IPs from the 80s to make them into a good video game. All they do is shit on them. Right? Once again, if you don't believe that the savior of Battlefield franchise is to do a G.I. Joe Cobra Battlefield, if you don't think that would save it, then there's no reason to make another Battlefield game.
Right.
How many more modern versions of enemies you're afraid to say who we're fighting are going to happen? Right? You have to fight somebody, but the world is too scared to announce who we're going to fight.
You know what I would really like from these toys? I would love if these toys that, because it's a free-to-play game, Sarge, okay? You know it's going to have microtransactions. It's going to be grindy as fuck, okay? I said this in Discord the other day. Me and Stealth were talking back and forth. I said, I would love if when I buy these toys, I can scan in and I have that character in the game. I buy the actual toy, and now I have the toy, like the Disney Infinity, like the Skylanders, like the Pokemon type of stuff, like the Mario stuff, right? You buy the toy, and now you have them in the game. You scan the code in, and now you are Bumblebee, you are Soundwave, you are Optimus Prime. Or if you don't want to buy the toys, and you don't want to buy the digital thing in the game, then you have to grind. You got to grind. And you can grind and earn all the Transformers that you want, but you got to grind. Or you buy the toy. I'll be okay to buy the toy.
How about it this way, bro? How about we
Amiibos? Thank you.
How about we don't give the GI Joe Cobra thing to Battlefield? How about we do like a Battlefront with GI Joe and Cobra?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah,
like that.
You don't that. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
that kind
like Star
of
Wars.
visuals.
I said that a couple weeks ago. I said make it just like Star Wars, but with GI Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On bigger maps.
Yeah. We'll talk about that forever.
So
all right.
It sells itself.
I got a couple questions. All right, a couple questions. Krebsy says anything special planned for the fall?
The fall of man, the fall of the West. Which fall are we talking about, Krebsy?
This fall.
Oh, you mean like the season?
The season.
I don't know. There's a lot of falls happening.
Do you have anything planned?
I mean, not really.
For the fall.
I mean, all the things I wanted to do have come to fruition. I got my PC this year.
Okay.
I thought that wasn't going to happen until later in the year, but my computer blew up, so I had to get it early.
Activision sale went through.
The Activision sale went through. I got paid.
Yeah.
I finally got a game I like to play. I'll be playing it for many, many hours.
You got 2 games.
I got Starfield. No, I got Starfield.
Oh, you got Dark Tide.
Oh, Dark Tide will have Dark Tide has a wall coming up. Like you're just going to the wall and you hit it and then you stop playing. Starfield's like in and out.
Yeah, okay.
What you want.
Okay.
I got my Total War games for the Warhammer on PC. We're good. I think the only thing I'm trying to shoot for now, my plans for the fall is take us trips anywhere. The hell out of Florida just for like a couple days and a graphics card. That's my plans for the fall.
I don't have any plans. No plans. I'm a man that has no plans. I live vicariously through other people, or I do impromptu vacations where today I don't have anything, but fuck it. Tomorrow I could just drive somewhere. That's the type of person I am. So I don't have anything planned for the fall. So Travis says, man, Starscream looks a lot better than Bumblebee. Yeah, Bumblebee looks a little cheaply made. I'll have to pick up a toy and look at it. I don't know if they're going to have different toys for the packaging for the duel, if Bumblebee's sold separately, if it's a different type of model. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at it. I think that box, that box goes for $75 euros, 75 euros.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That box is $75.
75 euros. Yeah, I think that's what they leaked the price was.
Are they out of their minds?
Yeah.
Are they out of their minds? That's not a toy.
Yeah, Transformer, it's 26 things to change Starscream and 20 to change Bumblebee.
Is it the soft plastic or the real plastic?
I don't know. They don't tell you.
70. So how much is that? Wait. Euros is higher than we are. So it's got to be like what, like $50 or $60?
It's probably about $50, $60.
It's 80, higher, Krebsy? It's 80 US?
No.
No, it's got to be lower.
No.
Otherwise, that's insane.
Is the dollar that shitty right now?
There's no way. $100.
Yeah, 75 euros is 79.39 in US. Yeah, yeah.
$45 for a little plastic robot each.
Well, if you go to Target right now, pick up like one of those Starscream and like the where he's sitting in the throne. I forget the series, whatever it is. It's like $50. It's like $50 just for that.
Bro, in my closet right here, I have the original.
Can you show one of them?
I have the original Decepticons from the original 80s show. I bought them all.
Yeah.
I have them all.
Yeah.
The only one, not the original, not the Insecticons.
Yeah,
the original.
The original. I got
right?
you.
But they're all masterpieces. They're not the regular guys. They're masterpieces.
They're awesome looking.
Yeah. Give me a black screen for a second. Give me the Sarge. Give me the Sarge thing.
I'll just hold on. Oh no, that's not you. Oh, where the fuck is your camera? There it is. Go ahead. All right. Another question. Travis says, do you think that RoboCop will make it, or do you think it'll flop? Is there enough of the market, or do you think that it's going to be overlooked? I think RoboCop is going to make it. I think it's going to sell, and when I say make it, I think if they sell 1 million copies, I think that's a huge success. I think it'll go past that. I think the nostalgia of RoboCop, I think it'll sell around 2 million copies. We won't know the sales, but I think it's going to do really, really well. I do. I think there's enough of us, like old timers that like RoboCop, that they'll purchase that, and I think the game it'll be a nice add on to your collection. I think it'll make it. I don't think Sarge has anything on that, but we'll ask him as soon as he puts his headset back on. He went to go get one of his. Sarge, do you have any? Do you think RoboCop the game is going to make it?
Make what?
Like, do you think it's going to be successful? Do you think it'll make it?
It won't sell enough copies. It might do decent. It won't sell enough copies.
I think it'll sell. I think 1 million copies will be huge for them. I think it'll sell like 2 million copies.
Well, the holidays are coming up. We'll see what it does.
All right, show us this this master system.
Yeah, I got them in the box.
Look at that.
I don't have my. I don't
want you to take it out.
I got to build my cabinet first to put them in, and I got to find a cabinet that's big enough for this. Like that's the Megatron from the cartoon.
Yeah. Does the opening, does it open up to look at them?
No.
No.
No. And everyone who loves Transformers,
oh yeah, look at that,
knows about Reflector.
Yeah.
Right. And these guys, the back only shows the computer. They look exactly like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Exactly like the cartoon. Now, how much do you think this is?
Probably like 100, 120.
Right? This here, after searching and searching and searching, $80.
Okay.
Right? This was like about 100.
Okay.
Close to 100. You'd think a 2-pack with that cheese-ass plastic looking like that?
Yeah.
$80, bro.
Yeah.
Where are we? Where are we?
Dupless asks, do you cut the crust off of your sandwich? No.
I don't buy what do they call them now? Crustables?
That's a
only
thing?
in America would we sell a more expensive version of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the crust cut off and make middle-class families pay more for a fucking PB&J.
Yeah, no, I don't cut that off. And the last question.
Absolutely, Travis.
The last question. Hold on. Sarge is. He'll get that for you. The last question. Since basically all games are out for this year, what's your game of the year lineup? Like my nominations. See, the nominations based on what I've played or based on what came out. Because if I base it on what I've played, is different than the games that have basically come out. What's that? What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarge can't hear us now. His thing. All games aren't out. Well, Spider-Man 2 and they come out like 2 hours from now. Oh yeah, it's Shockwave. Good old Shockwave.
Now, of course, if you notice, the name doesn't match because it's copyrighted.
Right.
But they're masterpieces, and everyone who knows about these knows about what they are.
So, all the potential ones with Game of the Year. Well, right now, the ones that I played. I'll go first, right? So I played Hogwarts Legacy. That's nominated. Star Wars Jedi Survivor would be nominated. Diablo 4 would be nominated. Starfield would be nominated. Those are the 4 games that I played that I think will be nominated, but take Diablo out and Jedi Survivor. I think Hogwarts and Starfield get nominated. I think the ones that get nominated of the 6, I think it's Hogwarts, Zelda, Starfield, Hogwarts, Zelda, Starfield, Legend of I already said Zelda, right? Yeah, no, Zelda.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, thank you. Spider-Man. And then that 6th position. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3. I played Baldur's Gate 3 as well, right? So I think those are the 6 I think that are going to make it. Yeah, King Kong and Gollum, definitely for the Razzies awards. What about you, Sarge? What games do you think will make nominate the 6?
Yeah, your list is correct. I really truly believe though that
what about Final Fantasy 16 or let's see, Street Fighter, or a small game like Dave the Diver, or Super Mario Wonder, Armor Core 6. I don't know.
I think Hogwarts should be win. I really truly believe Hogwarts should win.
I'll be honest. Out of all the games that I've played this year, I really, really, really loved Hogwarts Legacy. It was just a good time. I love the attention to detail. I love the gameplay. I like the story. The story wasn't fantastic, but I do like Hogwarts Legacy a lot. A lot of people won't give it that because they say it's like if I'm taking the game at full face value, right? It's a gigantic game. Attention to detail, voice acting, the music, right? Just the graphics, the art style, just everything about it. Hogwarts will win a couple of things. I just don't know if it wins Game of the Year, but I hope it's nominated. We find out in like less than a month. I think the cutoff.
Do we?
Yeah, the cutoff is the 18th, I think, of November. So, all right, that's gonna do it for the questions. If you guys,
I don't think the judges have the balls to give BG3 any more spotlight because of what kind of thing it created. It created such a positive. It created such a positive reinforcement in the industry that they don't want people to focus on.
Yeah.
That I don't think they'll give it to them.
You can't expect.
They'll be nominated. They'll be nominated, but they won't let them win because that means people will look into the game more. Right? Think about this. You guys were alive to see it. It was the only game so far in history that was criticized for doing well. It was criticized for doing well.
Right. That was the criticism. Not because of what it did bad.
They downplayed the game. It's only ever in my entire life where the media came out and said the game's too good. It's not that good. That's not what we can do.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Criticized for being too good, not
too
good
because
of anything wrong with the game.
Yeah, too good. You're too good. Yep.
Yeah, just ask it in chat, Travis. It didn't pop up in the questions.
No other game has been talked like that. No, nothing.
Right.
No game ever has been talked to like that.
Short version is there's a case to be made for offline modes in Division 3. I would be okay with that if they made it where it's online or online.
Oh,
offline
are we supposed
version.
to play Division? Are we supposed to play Division? By the way,
I mean we can.
Are we supposed to play?
I mean, there's a new season.
I mean,
you can wait till
we should just let we should just let a bunch of guys open up.
Just wait till the end and then do them all in like one night. Yeah. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 was fantastic. I only put 11 and a half hours in. 11 and a half hours, and I still haven't gone back.
I haven't even got it yet. I don't have time.
Well,
I haven't even got it yet.
I'll give you my Steam, and you can play it.
No, I don't have time. It's not that I don't want it in the house. I know I don't have the time. I know. No.
Man, there's a lot of games.
I really believe. I'll be honest with you. I believe, in all honesty, I believe now. For me, there's only three that have a chance of winning: Spider-Man, BG3, and Hogwarts. That's it. Those are the three. Now, if Spider-Man is as good as we think it is, without any bullshit, then those are the three.
Well, let me go to our list here. Can I open this? We have a list on our Discord, and our fan poll. Oh, you guys can't see it. All right, hold on. Why can't you see it? All right, well, I guess I'm just going to read it to you then because you can't see it. So, right now, leading the charge, it's tied with Hogwarts Legacy and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. 21 votes each with our poll. It's still open, so if you guys want to vote on it, go vote on it. Okay, 21 votes each to make it for nominations. It's not who wins, the 6 nominations. So we got Hogwarts, and we have Legends of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, then coming in, the next one coming in is Starfield with 18 votes. Okay, then after that we have Spider-Man 2 with 17 votes. That's what, four games. The 5th game is Baldur's Gate 3, and the last game is Final Fantasy 16. That's what our community as a whole is voting. So Hogwarts is in there, Final Fantasy's in there, Starfield's in there, Zelda's in there, Spider-Man's in there, and what was the last one I said?
The only reason why I don't weigh in on Zelda
Baldur's Gate 3
is because the Zelda game is just like the other Zelda game. It's not new. It's not different. It's basically the sequel to a game that's already happened. When that game came out,
they changed it a lot, but yeah,
but it's the same game. It's the
yeah.
When the first one came out, it was revolutionary for the Switch to have a game like that on Switch. This is just another version of that game on Switch.
I agree with
right?
you. Yeah.
So if we're talking about giving someone an award for going all out,
but would Spider-Man fall in the same category then?
That's what I'm saying. Well, you'll know by the end of this weekend, guys. It's coming out this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's got good reviews.
Everyone will know.
Reviews.
We'll see.
So, Krebsy says Baldur's Gate 3, Hogwarts, Zelda, Spider-Man, Final Fantasy, Mario, Phantom Liberty will get DLC of the year.
Is there a category for DLC of the year?
I don't know.
That's a category?
I don't
think so.
Might be a thing. I don't know.
There is no DLCs anymore. So what would the running be?
Watch Last of Us remake wins Game of the Year. They should make the best remake of the year. There's so many of them. They can make a category and have 6 games remaked in 1 year. You got Resident Evil. You got
that's how you know.
Dead Space.
That's how you know they need games on the books when they start doing remakes.
Sure.
Because the time frame is too long to do a game, so they have to pump one out in between.
Reese says it's basically every sequel more of the same. Yes and no. There are sequels that are really I don't know. I think there's certain games
if the game does well, it's copy pasta, bro.
Sure, it helps them make it because they don't have to move all the assets and stuff like that, right? So
that's
It
correct.
helps them, but it's still different. I mean, I don't know. There are games that come out that are too similar.
Look at the progression. And this is a perfect example, by the way. Look at the comparison between the Mass Effect series 1, 2, and 3. Right. Not the remade version.
No. Just the original.
Especially the remade version of number 1. Play Mass Effect 1, then look at 2, then look at 3. The spacing of it and what's improved over those 3 games.
Right.
They don't do stuff like that no more.
No,
it's just
more of the same.
Copy pasta.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. that's going to do it for episode 370 is in the can. We do appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us and watching, listening. If you like the show, hit that like button down below. We do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us. If you're here for 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, we do appreciate you. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, hit the subscribe button. We do lots of different content on here. This is like the flagship at the end, right? This is the end of my week. Basically, I stream Monday through Thursday mornings from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We have nice, long conversations with you guys. We go over the news. We have good conversations. Then in the evenings, Monday through Wednesday, we play video games, right? And then Thursday night, we do this podcast. And then there's a bunch of uploads throughout the week. So if you guys like what we do here, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. I would love to hit 3,000 or 4,000 by the end of the year, but I don't know if that's possible. But we'll see what happens. We do appreciate you very much. You can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.